Are you being bad faith by calling Steven bad faith or dishonest? I don't think so. I think that how people have these conversations matter. Look, if you want to keep your life private, that's good. But you can't go around pretending you've like done right by the people in your life when...
Do I want to burn the bridge with Brittany? I don't normally burn the bridges. I feel like I've been like pretty nice to Brittany. I've simped hard, defended her in my community. I try to give her the benefit of the doubt. She thinks I'm pro.
Some crazy stuff is going on
It's
screen
not
right
crazy.
now.
It's just, do you know who you know Sneeko, right? It's horrible. No drama, but Brittany talks about you in regards to relationship advice starting here till at least 8 minutes later. Don't get upset. Oh no. Uh-oh.
I'm open to criticizing all of my friends for their choices, but then look, Abba tried to come to Steven and say your hedonistic lifestyle isn't working, and Destiny got not only like offended and defensive, but literally was not open to the conversation.
Bro, I'll talk about anything all the time ever. Are we serious? I feel like I have more conversations about my fucking lifestyle than literally any other fucking person on the internet. I have so many conversations about my lifestyle. It happens so often. It's almost exhausting at this point. Like oh my God.
Was not open to Abba, and Abba backed off smartly because again, we don't want to believe that we're not doing the most healthy version of our life. Who cares? I do not give a fuck if Steven and Melina end up in the worst relationship they're in. Even now, we know all the drama. But of course, as their friends, as individuals, I'd like them to be healthier and happier. But it's not my fucking job to tell Steven and Melina to stop doing what they're doing. Because you know what I'm saying? It's not my job. So unless they come to me and say it, unless they open up the conversation to hear it, how could I do this, right? Let them be messy. Let them sleep around and not negotiate and do all the things that kind of make it hard, right? But that's fine. But that's no different than what Sneeko's doing on his journey. He's not open-minded to the right people. I feel like he's open-minded to me, and I'm good with that.
Oh man, hold on. Okay. The difference between me and Sneeko is that I have my life and I do my things and I'm okay with that. And I understand that other people have their lives and they do their things and I'm okay with that.
A Destiny streamer can want to talk about Christian socialism and
nope, I'm good. The difference is Sneeko is highly judgmental about everybody else's life. That's the difference. Is that really that hard to understand? Or do people not see that? Or do people just not care about that? I can't tell. I just can't tell. Or is that not a thing? Like if one person comes out and one person eats shit and he just likes to eat shit. And he's like, you know, some people are vegans. Some people eat meat. I like to eat shit. I'm not saying you should eat shit, but I just like eating shit. If I saw that guy, I'd be like, you know what? That's pretty weird, but hey, you do you, my friend. Now let's say another guy comes out and he's a vegan and he's like, listen, I'm a vegan and meat eaters should get the fucking guillotine. They should fucking die, right? In that circumstance, I would side with the shit eater more than the vegan. Like, because the shit eater isn't judging other people for their lifestyles. The shit eater might be doing something that I think is a little bit whack or crazy, but he's doing his own thing, you know? He's doing his own thing. He's eating whatever. It's weird. I think it's weird. I wouldn't do it. He's not recommending other people. But the militant vegan is being highly judgmental of other people. I don't understand how she can't see the difference between that. Sneeko is constantly calling out every other style of relationship for not matching what he recommends 100% verbatim. I don't understand how somebody couldn't see the difference there. That's unfathomable to me. I don't understand.
That Sneeko lets me talk to him, I think, more than even Destiny does. I don't think Steven is as open-minded about me helping his relationship be quote-unquote better because he thinks it's good right now. But Sneeko has definitely been more open to me in the past helping him with his relationships. So in my head, Sneeko is more open-minded because...
It's like... Where are his relationships at now? Like, one, Sneeko's gonna be a bit more open because he's like 14 years old. I'm 34 years old. Of course, the receptiveness that we have to other people's advice is gonna be dramatically different. I've been dating a woman that I just married for 4 fucking years. Sneeko is bouncing between who the fuck knows what, converting religions every other fucking day. Yeah, no shit, he might be a little bit more receptive. But to say that he's open-minded when he is by de facto not open-minded because he's so judgmental is fucking insane.
he's willing to admit he cheated. He's willing to admit he did things that were wrong. He hurt people. He knows that. And he admitted that over and over again. And all you...
It's got to be like the perfect, this has to be like the perfect trigger video. It's got to be the perfect trigger video.
guys did was make fun of him for it. Cool.
I just need you to bear with me through the context and get to the end of the video so you can see just how scummy this narcissistic little child is. So buckle up. All the context and the build up to the end of the video is very important. It's very hilarious, and I couldn't be more excited to clear my name finally. I want to say this. He did these long-winded videos about the situation, over an hour of him talking about it on 2 different streams that I'm aware of.
You have to be coming from, you've got to be coming from an insane world where Sneeko comes off as more open-minded than almost anybody. Like, he's literally the Matrix NPC programmed person right now. It's like, oh, fuck. Okay, it's okay. Let's bring it back. Dial it down. Dial it back. Bring it back in.
So I feel it's necessary I address it in a long-winded, articulate fashion. I fear...
Wait, what did it... Oh, she's muted. Call her, she's streaming. I don't want to have an argument with somebody over who's open-minded more. I don't care that much. If she thinks that, that's fine. But it's just a wild opinion to think. Like...
If I made this a 10-minute video like I wanted to,
Wait, does she know that...
people would complain too much about me picking and choosing clips and not providing adequate context, so I will do my best to make things long with proper context. And in the description will be the links to all the streams I'm referencing, and I implore you to go watch them for yourself and draw your own conclusions. Also, I waited 6 weeks since the rape threat allegations to make this video.
Oh my god, did I just rant forever and I was muted? Oh my god, stop it. Fuck. Okay, this is what I was such a boomer. I'm sorry, boomer Brittany. Listen, every damn time. I know, fuck, damn it. Okay, I was saying that, I saw a comment. Was I muted for the comment, guys? I think I was muted for the comment. There was a comment that said Abba and Destiny are speaking to their specific bubbles and their audiences, not to the general public. And they say that, but no. Steven fought with me about this because... Thank you, Trevi, for the super chat. Yes, I'm repeating it. So Steven and Abba did tell me, when I came on to discuss OnlyFans and sex work, they did tell me that I am speaking for specific bubbles and they need to speak for general public, and they were being anti-sex work for the general populace. Steven argued with me over this rape thingy because I was like...
How am I anti-sex work? What? Where does this take even come from? What conversation did I have where I said this? Wait, what?
For general public, and they were being anti-sex work for the general populace. Steven argued with me over this rape thingy because I was like, you're speaking from like a bubble, right? Like men are socialized like this and women are socialized by this, but like it depends on the bubble. Generally speaking, doesn't work anymore, right?
Okay, hold on, sorry, hold on. I need that weed, that's what I need. I need to smoke. I just need to smoke. It would chill. It would fucking mellow me the fuck out. Or maybe I need a drink. I need some substance. I need to abuse something. My temperament is more brittle than it was in the older days. I'm getting shattered right now. Okay. It's okay. Bring it back. Chill out. Calm it down. Okay. This is what it's like when a level 2 me is trying to perceive what a level 5 is saying. It's hard for me to, I got a lot of mental work I'm trying to do right now. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay.
It just doesn't work anymore. So again, people have to be more open to the idea that you are speaking from a bubble. Actually, Discord said it really well. They said, I really like Destiny and I've been watching him pretty regularly for 3 years. But I've been thinking about calling in to ask him if he thinks he is maybe not the effective communicator that he thinks he is. If people are constantly misunderstanding him, quotations. Some people can be uncharitable, but I do think there's a pattern for a reason. Look, Destiny and I are very similar, as is Sneeko and everyone else. The place that I think I'm excelling versus them two is I know I'm not speaking for the general public. I know I'm speaking for bubbles, but I think Steven does think he's speaking generally and normally, but he's not. And that's why he's misunderstood.
This is why, and I'll say this again, and I implore you guys, please God, when you guys are listening to other content creators, please, when people say things like this, you have to give examples. You need to give examples. You need to say, hey, what do you mean when you say that? Can you give some examples? Always ask for examples on stuff like this. Please always ask for examples. Like, what have I ever said where I clarify this so it's actually exhausting how much I clarify this shit. I don't recommend My Life's for a minute. Or here's something that I recommend if you do this. This is like a general recommendation. I am so curious. Have I ever made a general recommendation that's wrong? Like, my general recommendations tend to be so milquetoast. If you want to lose weight, start counting calories. If you want to be careful with your money, always make a budget. If you want to do well in life, you need to go to school. I feel like I'm getting gaslit by this VOD. I feel like I've overclarified so much time, or so many times. Like, here, like, the general advice that I give is so broad and it's so normal. Is this like a bubble thing? Am I stuck in a normal bubble where people Okay.
Shit all the time, but also Steven has a habit of, I think, not being as forthcoming or honest as he could be in his work, versus me and Sneeko, we're more than happy to throw our trash out there for the most part.
My whole life! I don't... oh, shit. Okay. I just gotta chill. Why am I letting these guys are, like, new to the internet, and I've been here for so long. It's okay. I understand. It's okay. Okay. We need to... I'm getting trolled right now. This is an epic... This is an epic troll. This is an epic troll. It has to be. It must be. I'm getting epically trolled. I must be getting epically trolled, okay? I must be getting epically trolled right now, okay? Who just joined me?
You really think it's a troll?
You're the evil devil, okay? Don't be here. You're gonna make me, stop. You're the bad one, okay? That's gonna make me think bad thoughts, okay? I'm staying.
No, I'm absolutely the angel on the shoulder. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I don't think she's trolling, but I don't know. She has such a wild impression of me that is so far from reality. Even the examples that she gave were so wrong. She literally gave the example. Sneeko's open about his cheating. Like, first of all, cheating to these guys is Giga Chad. They think that's cool. Like, he literally talks about how he... I can't even say anything because I don't even know how much he's public with. I can't even say what I want to fucking say. Like, I am so open with everything.
Okay,
I said I've cheated on Aaron like 20 times. I've always said this. I don't lie any of this about my life. I can't lie anything about my life. My whole life is public.
Okay.
How the can she possibly say this kid is more open than me? He says he's Islamic. He doesn't even know he's never opened a...
Breathe. Okay. I see it. Obviously. Brittany could have a bias with you because she knows about cheating, but then that wouldn't explain why she doesn't have a bias towards Sneeko. Correct? That's what's frustrating right now, right?
I don't know how she can say he's open-minded. He's become one of the most judgmental people in all of YouTube. He's so judgmental. Bro, he's open-minded. He's literally making fun of what Charlie's girlfriend looks like. He calls everybody a cuck. He thinks that if you've gotten vaccinated, your dick is gonna fall off. Like, how is this the open-minded person? He's hyper-judgmental of every type of relationship style that doesn't match his. Like, what?
Okay.
How is he the open-minded one? I don't understand. There's no way.
So she's just trolling you.
No, she's not trolling. I think that...
I know she's not.
I don't know if she's still like, is she upset from the rape conversation and it's just like carried over into everything now?
No, it's not the rape conversation. So I tried to tell you this before, that the first time I got the vibe, like Brittany wasn't sure about you, it had to do with the sex worker discourse. From there, I think not really being honest with you about that.
Wait. What is the sex worker discourse? Did I ever come off as anti-sex worker, or what part of the discourse?
You have the ability to be critical and to wonder about things, and that can make it seem like you're against something. I think there was a time where you really didn't have a positive view about OnlyFans, with the idea that people could reach out to sex workers. You thought that maybe this could be bad on their mental and their ability to form like positive relationships if they are...
Oh, because I was critical of the DMing people and going back and forth like that. Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like even in that conversation, didn't she say, I actually know a lot of people that do this and they don't think it's exploitative or abusive at all? Didn't I literally send that combo? Oh, maybe it's possible that in different communities people engage with it differently. Does that not count? Should I just not even bother saying it?
So this isn't specifically about you. This is about her. Okay? That happened. You, I think, treated her like very mature, very emotionally intelligent, very capable of understanding other bubbles and understanding that everyone's on a different path, right? So for you, it probably seems like she's able to engage with that criticism, but my conversation with her later was being really skeptical about you, because while you are, I don't know, not taking up for her side or something like that, you are very much coddling Lav and helping Lav take her side, which is against sex work. So you have to understand that the people that you compliment sometimes don't really don't live up to that compliment. And so you're kind of neglecting the fact that they need to be taken care of, kind of like Lav did. I think that's where all the problems started.
Okay, maybe.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay, and how does that make you feel?
Retarded.
Okay, why retarded? Like, do you understand the
Do I?
difference
So I need to be like,
Okay.
so if I ever have a disagreement with anybody ever, do I need to like engage in like BDSM aftercare for every single conversation? Like, try to be like, hey, I know that we disagreed today on stream about an issue. Can we have like an hour call later tonight, and I can like engage in some soothing activities for you to make sure that you understand that I don't like hate like a certain group of people that you either identify with or want to defend? Like, is that like a behavior? Is that like a normal behavior? Do people normally do
No,
this for interactions when they disagree with each other?
It is not a normal behavior, but okay, I have borderline personality disorder,
Base.
and you understand that I am not always rational, especially when things are personal to me. I'm not engaging rationally all the time, and I can walk away from it with some really like bad ideas that I need to resolve. Otherwise, they stay with me and they fester and they grow. I think Brittany had bad ideas of you and why you were making arguments that you were with different people. With her, you're argumentative. With Lav, you're coddling. I think this is unique to maybe Brittany, but I don't think it's anything that you've done wrong specifically, if that makes sense.
Well, no, it can't be the case that like, it can't be the case that I haven't done anything wrong with Mr. Girl, with Live, with Brittany, with blah, 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 right? Like, at some point, there has to be a different method of communication with people that is, it's going beyond the words, right? Because clearly, whatever the fuck I say doesn't matter. So there has to be, like, another action, some basic component of, like, human interaction that just doesn't fucking exist in my brain. And I guess I'm trying to figure out, like, what the fuck is that? Like, when she literally reaches for the example, like, oh, like, Sneeko's so open and Destiny's not. Like, when Sneeko talks about his cheating, like, I want to blow my brains out, okay? But the words, it's because it must not be a word thing. It's like there's some like human component of interaction that I'm just like, I don't have. I'm missing it, and I need to figure out what that is, because there should be no reason why I don't connect on. I don't know. I need to figure it out.
This is why,
the thing that drives me, but the thing that is driving me crazy is I don't like if everybody thought something. Here's what I wouldn't mind. Okay, this is acceptable to me. If everybody in the world was like, Destiny, you are way too harsh on people, then I'd be like, okay, that's fair. If everybody's getting that perception, fine. You know what? Sure. Maybe I need to like tone back things. But the problem is I have so much diametrically opposed opinions about the same person that I interact with. This has actually happened multiple times in my life. It happened with Bad Bunny, where Bad Bunny thought that I never stuck up for her, I never helped her, I never did anything to represent her side at all, and my whole community thought I was simping for her. It's happening, I guess, a little bit with Brittany, where Brittany thinks that I'm like super against these points of view, I'm super not open, and my whole community is like, oh, but Destiny, you simp hard for Brittany. It happened with Lav, where Lav is like, when this girl's like, oh, Destiny's abusive, my whole community's like, oh, he simps so hard for Lav. The only reason he's got Lav on is because he's simping for her. Like, I don't understand how that difference in opinion can exist in so many different areas. Like, if it was everybody saying one thing, and I'm like, okay, maybe I need to like be nicer or I need to be meaner, but it's when the totally opposite opinions exist and they're like proliferating so much through both sides.
Okay, I think being charitable and having that empathy arc, and then also maybe believing that certain people that you know probably have mental illness, like just uplifting them or expecting that they're good. I don't know. I think there's a combination of things that you're doing wrong, but I don't think it has to do with like your debate style. I think it's like, it's the space. It's people who, I don't know, they're not upfront with you. This is why the last time we talked about this, I said, she's saying one thing on her stream, but she comes to you with different energy. I think there's something about you that as soon as you talk to somebody, they're willing to forget that they have a problem with you until you like instigate. Like, I think the last time you talked to Lav, right? She was like, okay, hold on, I need like a buffer. And then everything was like sweet and cool and it was about to be chill until, I don't know, everyone remembered like the drama. Like, why do you, I think that's the effect.
Okay, so I need to find out. So when I'm confronting somebody with a difference in opinion, I need to make sure that, because this is something that I worry about. I try to avoid this in like personal relationships. I'm trying to be like a debater in like my personal life, because I don't want somebody to think that like I can't bring an opinion to him without him trying to debate me on it. So I try to be careful of that. And I feel like when I'm talking to people now with Lav, it's going to be super confrontational. I feel like when I'm talking to people about issues they have with me, how do How do I represent my side of the discussion without being, because it sounds like you're just saying that they view me as overly confrontational, so they're going to hide their feelings, and then they have a conversation. No resolution is actually reached, and then they just go back with their feelings completely unchanged.
Okay, well, it doesn't always have to be that you're overly confrontational. It can also be the idea that they can't wait to get along with you and resolve the conflict, or pretend the conflict isn't there. And then it's very upsetting to find out, oh, the conflict is still there.
That Twitter girl, true. Okay, well, oh my God.
Like,
okay.
it's too much for you to have a conflict with somebody, but they can engage with you in a positive way. They'd almost like to forget the conflict even existed, but that's never actually removing the conflict.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna finish watching this before I kill myself.
And then I think, no, Darius, I'm not saying that. Okay, bye.
Bye. I'm just...
I've seen Sneeko admit to hurting people on podcasts. I don't hear Steven ever owning the fact that he hurts people. Like,
I can't, dude. It's like one of the most open and blatant parts of my personality that, like, yeah, I'm abrasive, I'm an asshole, I understand not everybody likes, okay, it's okay.
Like, not really. And so again, that's fine. You can do that, but that's what I'm looking for in people. I'm looking for some sort of an acknowledgement that, like, yeah, dude, I did that. And it's okay if you try to justify it to an extent, because I think that's our ego. But I think that that's what I'm looking for. So yes, generally speaking, I have always heard Steven say that he's speaking generally, and I am not. I, Brittany, don't want to speak that way.
For one reason and one reason only. I knew people were going to call me a cloud chaser. Sneeko was blowing up like
Sorry, super chat. Thank you so much from Kate. Your 20s are workshop years, learn through failure. Exactly, I believe that too.
crazy, and people were going to
Depending on your bubble.
think I had ulterior motives. But seeing as the last video I posted has now become my most viewed video of all time, I think now is the perfect time to address the situation and to finally put it to rest. Let's start at the beginning so we can have full context and full clarity. Everything I say will be 100% truth to my knowledge, and I will supply evidence to the best of my ability. You have my word, and I hope you trust me. I used to be a fan of Sneeko way back before he cosplayed as an alpha male. He used to make philosophical videos about life, people, society, and I really enjoyed them. I thought they were well put together, well edited, and
Stop it, Izzy. That is so funny. Bill Burr said in your 20s are when you take your childhood out on other people. Exactly. I see Sneeko in a lot of these internet...
Why does she agree with that general point of view, but then she says she can't ever make any general statements ever? That's the most general point of view ever. Your 20s when you take... That's a general statement she's applying to the entire population. Why is she allowed to have that general point of view, but not like...
said in your 20s are when you take your childhood out on other people. Exactly. I see Sneeko and a lot of these internet boys as taking their emotions out on everybody else, but that is literally what everyone is doing to some extent. And I definitely was there too. I've been making videos forever. You know what I mean? And all of that stuff. So again, yeah, there's something about that. Are you being bad faith by calling Steven bad faith or dishonest? I don't think so. I think that how people have these conversations matter. Look, if you want to keep your life private, that's good, but you can't go around pretending you've like done right by the people in your life when...
My life is so much more public than anybody on the internet. I think there's like 2 things about my life that people don't know about over the past 15 years. Like, what parts of my life are even private? I guess you wouldn't know, huh? You don't know the body's buried outside.
Have these conversations matter. Look, if you want to keep your life private, that's good, but you can't go around pretending you've like done right by the people in your life when you have hurt people in your life. So I don't think Sneeko can say I've done right by everyone in my life. He's never said that to me. I've never seen him really say that in a way that I thought was authentic. Listen, Sneeko on the internet is different. When Sneeko and I, like, if we ever talk privately, it is very different. It's like a real person that I'm talking to, and I think that that's really important. And I'm not saying Steven is a bad person. Like I said, I think a majority of the world is good. Okay, but I don't see Steven actually owning the fact that he's bad at relationships when he's giving relationship advice. He gives relationship advice, but he's not great at relationships.
Dude, I can't. I don't know what I can. Hold on, because it's like. It's like. It's like.
I prefer really not to speak. If I speak, I am in big trouble. In big trouble, and I don't want to be in big trouble.
Okay, I don't think I can watch the rest of this. Isn't she single? Can somebody type into chat no, I don't want to go down this road. she can only be critical of my relationships because of who just joined.
Can I speak?
No, hold on.
Yeah.
She can only be critical of my relationships because of how open I am with every single thing in my life. I would argue that my current relationship is pretty good. Even my last relationship with Aaron was pretty good. Yeah, I cheated and that sucked, but like for the most part, it was like a 5 or 6 year relationship. Like you have bad relationships, or you have relationships you get broken up until you find the one and get married forever, right? Like that's how life works. Like everybody is, oh God.
Yes.
How much of her? Wait. How much of her? Wait. How much of her relationship is public? Can you tell me that? Because
I can tell you it's public.
How much?
So, okay, Brittany is now monogamous. She used to be poly, but she's now monogamous. After meeting a guy for 3 months, they are getting married, and she is now moving to Europe for him.
Yeah. Wait, did she say publicly how much time she spent with this guy?
They know each other for 3 months, but they have not spent 3 months together.
Okay, correct. Yeah, okay.
Because he lives in a different country.
Yeah, okay. Okay, I'm just gonna, okay, I won't say anything else. Go ahead.
Okay.
3 months, everybody freaking out about 3 months. It's not even that much. Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead, Cherry.
Yes. So this is who wants to give you relationship advice. Yeah. She's talked about her body count. Her body count's also in the single digits, which giving sex advice. I don't know. There's a lot of
Wait, why are you talking to me right now? Hold on, because you're just gonna make this even worse. What is
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm just here to say what you can. Okay, bye.
Oh, no, okay, thank you. I appreciate it though. I'm sorry. I'm not like attacking you. I just okay. Okay, I think I need to unplug from this. I have to unplug from this. I need to unplug from this. I'm gonna close this. I'm gonna make a good decision to close this. Okay. What do you, if you say retarded shit, you're permabanned. Go. I'm on the ban button right now. Ban Darius. Ban. What do you want to say? Good luck.
You know what it really is, right?
No.
You know what you know. You know, she gets a lot of, not because you're so open about your relationship, but you know who she talks to.
Wait.
You know who she talks to about stuff.
Wait, message me. What do you mean about that?
There's people.
Wait, DM me. What DM me? Who are you talking about? I don't know what you mean by that. We got a lot of mutuals.
I'll message you about it. But listen, when people talk about your relationship, especially when they're very close to you, you sound very bad, and they feel like you're not being as honest as it is because they feel like your fan base should be a lot more mean to you than they are. You know what I mean? And then on top of it, Sneeko has
I feel like I'm more open about problems in my relationships than like any dude. My relationship shit gets leaked all the time. It happened through Bob 7, where it all got fucking leaked. It happened through like you and Zushia. It all got fucking leaked. I fought with Melina on stream before. It's all insanely fucking public. How can you ever say there's like a hidden part of my relationship that like everybody doesn't have a fucking opinion on? Literally every fucking person in the fucking world has an opinion on my relationship.
It's not that it's hidden. It's just the way that other people talk about it makes people get real fiery. And then, like, I'll be honest, I got really fiery when I was hearing stuff. And then I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, oh, people should be way more critical of you. Then I actually thought about things, and I was like, okay, well, maybe not so much. But other people who are just like, I'll just DM you, okay?
Yeah, DM me, okay? Yeah.
Okay.
There should be like a rule. I want to make a new debate arena. And when we do the debate, you have to step in. I'm going to call it the docs arena, okay? And going into the arena, you'll get to post your full docs on everything. Let's look at our full history, our private relationships, publicly, everything. And then we can bring it all to the table, and then we can all judge each other. It's insane to me that, like... Hold on. I just have to... Why am I here right now? Hold on. Hold on. Let's think for a moment. What do we have... Okay, what do we have to gain from going down this road? Almost nothing, aside from viewership, okay? Losing, do I want to burn the bridge with Brittany? I don't normally burn the bridges. I feel like I've been like pretty nice to Brittany. I've simped hard, defended her in my community. I try to give her the benefit of the doubt. She thinks I'm pro-rape. What is happening? I'm tripping on acid right now. I need substances. I'm at the stage in life. How old was Dan when he turned into alcoholic? I think I just start abusing stuff. That's what I gotta do. I gotta start abusing stuff. Who?
Listen, steer clear of alcohol. It's not the answer, okay?
It's either alcohol or weed or Coke laced with to give me that real that
First
real
off, can
kick,
you just-
the real kick that I need, that
Can
real
you just-
confidence.
What happened? Because my buddy Heinleiter, I think you're familiar with him. He said, Dan, some crazy stuff is going on
It's
stream
not
right now."
crazy. It's just, do you know who Sneeko, right?
I'm familiar.
Brittany's going off on her stream and she's like, yeah, Destiny's life is like a huge f***ing mess and he's not like as honest about his life or as open-minded as Sneeko is. And like Sneeko's just so open-minded and honest about the people that he's hurt and the mistakes that he's made. And like, yeah, and he doesn't give advice to people, but Destiny tells everybody to live his life. And he tells everybody that like he knows everything and that he gives advice to everybody thinking that he can tell the whole world how to live, even though his whole life is a disaster. And Sneeko is so honest and pure and like open-minded. And I'm like, I don't even understand. Like, is that even possible?
Did anything happen with Brittany that may have caused her to say something so...
3 weeks ago, I think, or 2 or 3 weeks ago, we had a discussion on my stream. Here's something that I pondered, okay? Now, I pondered this, even though I've read a bit on this, and I've done way more research, which 100% reinforced my opinion, okay? What I pondered is I wonder if having a certain type of sexual history can make you more likely to experience trauma or have traumatic responses to things like rape, right? So say, for instance, you've got like a very sexually liberated, highly promiscuous, whatever person, and then you've got like a very conservative person. Both these people get raped. Maybe they have different responses to it because of the shame they feel, the openness they feel, whatever. Brittany heard this, and in her mind, she translated this to, Destiny thinks sluts like getting raped. That's what her translation was. And I think that that's like incepted her mind, and now her whole, so for instance, like she brought on a psychologist, a therapist guy, who, by the way, not only did he reinforce every single opinion I had, he actually gave like 2 examples that were verbatim examples that I given on a stream, and he said everything that I agreed with, and he reinforced my opinion completely. But even when she was talking to him, even after I explained to her what I meant, she was like, oh yeah, so like I've got a friend who thinks that like maybe sexually promiscuous women don't mind getting as much. And I'm like, how is that your takeaway from the conversation? And I feel like since then, I think, and now she's going on these things, she's like, oh yeah, like Destiny's like really like sex worker negative. And I'm like, what? I don't know.
Is there a lot to gain right now by being anti-Destiny? I know that you've basically made enemies with a lot. Well, I mean,
unless you're like, unless you're hedging for like the Max article or something, and you think it's actually going to destroy me, having this guy write about every single negative thing I've done in my life for the past 12 years, I can't think of anything. Like our communities are relatively separate. I think she is like, it's decent for her to like talk to me. I think that it like does well for her. I think it does well for me. I don't think she's like part of like any anti-Destiny jerker communities.
Why do you think this is happening? All right, in Occam's razor, what's the most likely explanation? The one I can think of, I don't know if it's true, would be that she wants to get in the good graces of Sneeko and maybe get more content time.
No
with them.
shot. Yeah, I don't even think he does.
What's the most likely explanation for this sudden change of someone who would be your defender and
I
friend?
feel like the rape convo fundamentally altered the way that she views me. That's what I feel like right now. I think that when we had that rape convo, I think that she thinks I have these like crazy conservative ideas relating to sex and rape, and that's causing her to like reshade every interaction she's had with me, every thought she's had about me, and everything I've ever said publicly. That's what I think right now.
Have you tried communicating to her that she's misunderstanding your take? I mean, could it be that simple? That's what it is, right?
We had a short conversation. It was a few messages of text that we exchanged after stream, after we had a talk, and it seemed like everything was okay, but...
So maybe it just needs to be clarified more, right? So here's the issue, Dan, okay? Mm-hmm.
Let's say, hypothetically, you gave a take that I thought sounded like a little bit strange, and like
would you completely throw me under the bus and be done with me?
No, it's not about that. But let's say that we're talking and you say something about like, oh yeah, like it was crazy when like that conservative you're arguing with, like he brought up the crime stats, like some of them are true, right? Let's say that we have like a combo, you bring that up. Let's say later on, I'm talking to my stream, like, it's kind of weird that like, I think Dan is like a race realist. I think he thinks black people are like inferior to like other people. If you heard me say that, in your mind, would you think, oh, I need to have a conversation with Steven and just kind of like right the ship because he misunderstood me? Or in your mind, would you be thinking like, how the f can Steven think this about me after one random quip I said? Like, it feels like such a ridiculous thing to correct on. Would you want to have a conversation with me convincing me that you're not racist? I don't think you are, for the record.
No. Yeah,
like, I don't even think you would entertain the conversation. Would you? Like, it would feel insane to do that.
Okay, so maybe the thought is, what about, so if we're in like a conversation and I, like, let's say we're talking right now and I'm like, I don't know an example to say. Like, what about if I just say something like yeah, I think circumcision should be forced on everyone. Like, I believe that 100%. And you're like, wait, what? Why? And it's like, no, I think that's the case. And then like, if I said that to the point where you believe it enough, it would be reasonable later if for you to go on stream and be like, well, Dan obviously wants everyone to be Jewish. I'd be like, no, dude, you misunderstood what I said. I just think everyone should have a circumcision. I don't think everyone needs to be Jewish. So I think there's maybe a little bit of charitability you could give, but I don't know what you were... what exactly, I didn't listen to these conversations. So the question is, do you want to give it a second chance, or I don't want to say insulted, because I know like you'll basically let anyone do anything to you and you'll give them a second chance.
No, yeah, I need to stop that. This is the year of boundaries, Dan. I'm going to do a better job, I swear to God.
Okay, well you should.
I know, I need to, I will. I have to, I know.
Here's the thing. I believe a lot with that as well, because I think it's stressful and it sucks to have enemies out there. Like, for you, it's fun. But the way I felt about before is like, when I get in a fight with someone, it's easy to like, I feel like I'm smart enough usually to be able to like say something really hurtful and get like a really fucking knife in their heart last word, and where they're going to go and they're going to be thinking about me for the next few weeks and how I really like said something that went like and cut them. But I think now it's just not worth doing that. To me, I get more pleasure out of them letting them get the last word in, and them thinking that they're walking away winning. I think it's actually better, because then I know that when I go to sleep at night, I know that there's not someone like thinking about like how they can fuck me over every minute of every day. So I don't know. I'm not saying abandon the like give people second chances thing. Maybe do it with the trust but verify thing. Like, this person's over a lot of times, probably be pretty guarded. And also, I think you need to have a lot more barriers of letting someone, I don't want to say into your inner circle, but like, for
you know
really
what?
trusting someone, it has to, time. There is no substitute for time. I said this once before, there's no substitute. They just got to be here, and survive so many trials and tribulations. Oh, I'm being typed too. Sorry, hold on. Oh.
You know what?
I don't know.
That's it. It's the simplest explanation. That's it. I'm done. I'm good. Okay, that's good.
All right. So
I have stronger boundaries. I'm gonna. Okay, yeah. This is crazy. This whole thing is insane. It must be this. I think this, but her public perception of me is wild. But she's saying it publicly. Hold on, I'm curious. Actually, and be honest with me, Dan. I know how much pressure I exert over you because I'm a high-level orbiter and everything, okay?
No, listen, that's another thing. Stop. You know how high risk it is to be here in the Destiny universe lately? I'm going to just throw something. I know you don't think about us orbiters. We're like an afterthought. I just want you to think for a second. Nazis want to kill Jews. Muslims sometimes want to kill Jews.
Don't worry, I'm taking all the Muslim and Nazi heat right now for you, okay?
Who other do you fight with want to kill me?
Based on
want to kill me?
I understand. Based on the little bit that you've seen of everybody, okay?
Yes.
Who do you think is in general more open-minded? Me or Sneeko?
I don't want to be in these conversations. Like, you know what you're doing.
I'm just curious. I'm just curious. I want your perception.
Of course, I'm going to say my friend.
No, I don't want it because you're your friend. Dan, I hate you. I'm not your friend anymore, okay? So now I'm not your friend, okay? And I'm going to stalk your house.
No, because what you're doing right now is you're like, Dan, what are better, dogs or cats?
No,
like right away, you're going to have a sizable audience.
Maybe my perception of myself is actually so fucking off. Maybe I actually am like the most closed-minded person publicly, and I just don't realize it. Maybe Sneeko, the Matrix guy, comes off as more open-minded, telling everybody to convert to Islam and W for gays being killed in the fucking UAE. Maybe he's the more open-minded one. Maybe I'm missing something.
Whoa, that's high-level slander. When did...
yeah. Okay. John, your microphone's not working.
Yeah, because he's on his fucking phone doing 8 balls of fucking coke.
Say turn off the speaker. Steven, I gotta ask you a question.
Yeah,
here we go.
Question, John?
Massive derailment.
Yeah, so, let's go.
Well, I don't have to derail. You can keep talking about that.
What do you got?
Okay.
What do you got, John?
No. Go for the derailment.
I gotta know, Steven. Yesterday, when I almost doxed that party from the Uber ride on your stream, I hang up on a weak joke. Caranto says, I can see in your eyes, you actually believe I rage quit on Carantos?
No, I don't think you rage quit, but it was a funny meme because you left right at that time.
Okay.
Yeah.
But so you did it for the stream because I'm
Yeah, because it's fucking funny because it looks like you leave right as he roast you. But no,
dude, I watched the clip and it looked like I got humiliated and destroyed.
Yeah, it did because you left right after.
I was like, dude, because he said something about a girl hitting me or something, and you know what scared me about that? I'm pretty sure since 99% of people actually think I was mad. I couldn't hear you guys when you guys were talking. That's how scratchy it was. I'm not mad.
Okay, I got you. Listen, smart. I'm applying a banjo right now. I don't care about this, okay?
No.
Yeah.
But
okay,
no,
are you done? Wrap it up. No, you got 20 seconds. Go.
Okay, check this out. I want to talk about the party, right?
No, I don't care about the party. Come back later and talk about the party.
Oh, no, I want to talk about what you guys want to talk about. You guys talk, I'm going to listen.
No, you're not. Here, come back later. There.
Yeah, I don't listen. You're in a rough spot of your life, but I will say you're not.
I'm not in a rough spot. I don't know why people are doing this.
You are because you're not following the
teachings of Allah. Oh, sorry.
You're not follow. If you call yourself that, yes, you are picking too many battles at one time.
I'm not picking this battle. I don't know why I have this battle right now.
You're a little picking the battle. Yeah, see, that's the thing. You have so many battles going on at once. You're not prepared for a new one to come from a counteroffensive.
All my other battles are done. I don't have any other battles going on right now. I think the only person I don't think I'm even battling with anybody right now. The Muslim shit is done.
I'll ask you one question.
No, the Muslim shit is done. What?
All right, my only question is.
Good. The Muslim shit is done. That's like a week old. The female rape thing is done. Farah deleted her clip. We're good.
And I'm leaving.
What? Go, okay. John, real quick, go.
Can you be a...
Okay, I don't know. Good job.
Okay. I'll... Where am I? I'm so fucked. My mind is... John Zerka has this ability, very powerful, to rape my mind. So when I come in here, I can completely... I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. I feel like I was filled with genius and insight, and now I'm like thinking about Freemasons or shit. Like, okay. You didn't even bring it up, and I'm thinking about it.
I'm losing my mind right now.
What happened?
Yeah,
Brittany is saying just the most wild stuff on stream that I just can't. What? She's saying things like, I don't like that Steven has never admitted to doing anything wrong ever. He doesn't admit to things like cheating, but I like Sneeko because he's way more open-minded and he admits to hurting people.
Well, you admit to Steven.
Yeah, I know! But I don't know how Brittany can... And then she's like, I don't know why Steven gives any advice for relationship stuff ever because his relationships are all disasters. And
Based.
But Brittany.
Okay.
That is true. I should be the only one who gets to give relationship advice.
What?
Because I'm perfect.
Face to me.
Because...
Well, you're being.
And her relationship is pretty public. She's marrying a guy she's known for 3 months. She's moving to Europe over it. Why would she throw I've known you for 4 fucking years, as horrible as they've been. I love you. Just kidding. But as much as we fought or whatever, but then she's also saying things like, Steven can't have his position on the internet and be private about everything in his life.
Wait,
no! All of my shit in my life is public. Yeah.
Jeez.
This is public. Yeah. It's all public. How can anybody say that I'm private about any part of my fucking life ever? We probably fought publicly on stream more than like any other couple.
Maybe.
So how can you say like Steven needs to be honest about the private things in his life? I feel like
you're kind of honest, kind of. Like you don't have to get into super detail, but
openness of relationships compared to like any other streamer out there, bro. Compared to like what you've told me about LA streamers and Austin streamers and their relationships,
she can have the opinion that she thinks that you shouldn't give relationship advice. If you can't handle relationships, I think that's okay. But to say that
sure, but like even when I'm giving relationship advice on stream, I've never recommended my lifestyle, and the only advice I give is the
Do you know what
lamest.
The advice you give?
What?
This is the advice you give.
Yeah.
You're basically giving the advice to do the opposite of what you're doing.
Sometimes, yeah. Like be more communicative and open instead of me who, when we fight, I go to another room and I don't want to talk to you for a day. Sure. Yeah, I don't even advise on what I do. Yeah, sure, true.
Do you think that it comes off that way to people, that you do the opposite of all the things that you say?
to some extent, but there are some things that I do for the opposite of what I say because I'm a flawed individual. For instance, you should never cheat on your partner, but I do sometimes, right? But like obviously that's a flaw. And then there are some things where it's like I think you should be monogamous instead of polyamorous because for most people, but like that's something that I choose not to do. But like I do a lot of things that are like unconventional, right? Like wearing sweatpants everywhere. Like it, I don't give a fuck. But you probably shouldn't if you care about your appearance or whatever. I don't have to care about my appearance. I've got clout and I'm rich and I'm young and beautiful and I'm shredded, so I don't have to worry about things like sweatpants, right?
Okay.
Whereas the people in my chat might have to.
Okay.
I don't know how much you listen to my stream, but when I feel like I might be wrong, but I feel like when I give advice, it's so general. And if I'm giving something specific, I'll always say like, oh, this only applies to you, or blah blah blah, or this is whatever. I feel like I do this like I overqualify until I want to kill myself. Okay. The reason why I left my gun in Nebraska is because after every single stream, it would be over. When I'm like, I think that you have to take. I think that, like, what was the combo that I had with Kelly where it's like, oh, I think you should put up boundaries. And she's like, well, what if you have Down syndrome and you've gotten raped 20 times in a row, Steven? What about that And I'm like, sorry.
Wait, hold on. Now you're like rambling about.
Yeah, I am, because I'm developing schizophrenia. I have schizophrenia.
Can you please just focus on one thing?
Yeah, what do you want? I'm having a psychotic
Why
episode
are
right
you
now.
upset?
He's upset. Oh, she can't hear me, can she?
Barely. I'm upset because I feel like I've been misgendered, okay?
No.
I'm upset because it feels like Brittany has, every opinion she has about Sneeko is so unbelievably, mind-numbingly, unfathomably, like digging back into millions of years of education. It's like if caveman had special education classes, the opinion would be in there, okay? It's like the people who weren't even, when you gave them crayons to write on the cave walls, they had to go outside where the rain washed it clean every day. Okay. That's the opinion that she has about Sneeko. That's what it feels like to me. And then her opinion about me is like, how? Sorry.
Down.
Okay.
Right now,
I'm sorry.
I feel like a mom that comes into you and you're explaining some random fight that you have with some gamers. Okay. I have no idea what the you're talking about. What has she said about...
Well, listen, tell that bitch to off. This is Dan time, okay? She can talk to you all the time. I got shit to do. Like, tell her to go and hop in Discord if she wants to or something.
Here, I'll link you the...
No. You explain. You're very good at explaining.
Okay.
You're explaining.
So here are some of the things she said about me. She said that all of my relationships are fucking dumpster fire disasters, so I should never give any advice about relationship stuff ever.
Okay. Yes.
That's one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, I feel like she gives a lot of relationship advice, and her current relationship is insane.
Wait, can I ask you?
More than mine. Okay. Yeah.
I'm
comparing it. I made the hierarchy.
Okay, do you think,
the best part of Melina talking is I can't hear anything because your Discord cuts out because it doesn't pick up her talking. It's awesome to be in here.
Okay.
If only you lived near us, Dan. You could just come on over. Okay, hold on. Sorry. Mel time. Go.
So... do you think that what she means is basically, do you think that she thinks, or is saying at least, that you come off as a person that says that you're perfect?
That's what it feels like she's saying, yes.
Okay. Do you understand that if you were saying that you were perfect, that maybe it wouldn't be the best? If you were
of course. But
you're not saying that.
I don't think I ever do. I feel like I'm really open about all of my flaws, and I have a lot of them.
Okay.
So another thing she said was like, Destiny doesn't take responsibility for hurting people. He doesn't seem to ever admit that he does. And I feel like I constantly say, I have a very abrasive personality. I understand a lot of people don't like me for a lot of reasons. I could be very mean to a lot of people. And some people don't like me, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I feel like I've been really open about that constantly. I had a whole year.
You are, but you're, how do I say this? How do I explain this?
All right, Steve, I'm going to be back later.
I love you, Dan. Be careful, buddy.
Cancer. Yeah, bye.
This is okay. Hold on. Let me think.
Hello?
I feel like sometimes, let's say that one person that has never really seen you or seen you just a few times,
sure,
they come into your stream and it's relationship advice stream.
Sure.
Do you think that they come off with the image that you're bad at relationships, or do you think they come off with you being good at them?
It super depends. If you're only seeing like one thing,
yes.
I think you can get a lot. That's why I think I made that joke yesterday. Remember when we ran into those girls who were the volleyball people?
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, I've seen you on TikTok. And I'm like, oh, then you either have a really good impression of me or a really bad impression of me. I'm super open about that, yes.
Okay, so for, let's say that, do you think Brittany has seen enough of you to understand the context that you are also saying that you're bad at relationships?
I think so. We've had like multiple 3 or 4 hour conversations on stream before.
Okay.
But if she hasn't, shouldn't she reserve judgment? Like, for instance, I don't actually know how much advice Brittany gives on like relationship stuff. I'm pretty sure it's quite a bit because she does it probably as part of her personal coaching. But I don't usually make comments. I think her relationship is insane. I think it's wild.
Okay.
But I don't comment on it or comment on her relationship because I haven't seen enough to. And like, she's my friend. I'm not going to sit here and be randomly on a stream one day like, oh yeah, guys, like I would ignore everything Brittany says about relationships because her relationship, blah, blah, blah. I would never say that because I haven't seen enough of her stuff to have that opinion about it. I just don't know. Like, she might be open on her stream. She might say like, oh yeah, guys, like my relationship is very unconventional. I wouldn't recommend it. I don't know that.
Do you think that the way that she is saying things right now is trying to like, do you think she's like mad at you, or do you think she's just saying things? Do you think she's just saying things like out of her brain right now, or do you think she's saying it like she has a strong opinion about?
I feel like there are two things. One is I think is like the rape trauma convo we had might still have left a lingering effect, which I think is kind of weird. Uh-huh. And then I don't know how much of either, but that's like a total guess. Like I can't know that, right?
Yeah. Why don't you talk to her?
I mean, I can, but
yeah, do it.
But she's already saying all these things publicly about me.
Yeah, but talk more publicly.
But we had a public conversation last time over the rape trauma stuff, but now she's saying things like, oh yeah, like there was that one convo I had with Steven, and it seems like he's like really anti-sex worker.
Okay, I feel like I have to hear.
Yeah, you do. That's why I said I'd link you. You can go and listen.
No. You can of course explain it.
But I don't want to explain it to you because I don't want you to feel like I'm loading it in a negative way. I want you to hear what she's saying and then.
You're saying I care very little. That's it. I don't care that much. That's what I'm trying to see. I'm trying to ask you questions for you to figure it out. What do you think? What do you think it is? What do you think this is about?
It's got to be those. It's got to be those conversations. The sex worker one and the pro rape one, I guess.
Okay. Because the only thing that I can see her coming from is that if you only heard one time, you heard something like if you come off as a person, like let's say whenever there's some sort of weird relationship thing that comes out, do you think that the reaction of the audience is like really surprised about you not being really good at communicating or relationships or something? Is the reaction of your community surprised, or is it like, oh yeah, that's all Steve? Like,
it's probably like 50-50, I think.
Yeah.
There's probably a lot of new fans I picked up where when we fight, they're like, oh my God, I can't believe this guy has like problems in his relationship because he gives so much advice. And then there's probably older fans like, oh, this is like Steven fights with his girlfriend or wife or whatever. Like it happens. Like that happens. So it's probably like a mixture of people, I'm sure.
Maybe you, do you think that you can do any better here?
I don't think I've done anything. I don't think any reasonable human being could listen to any amount of what I've said and any amount of what Sneeko has said and think that Sneeko is a more open-minded person. That is unbelievable to me. Or that Sneeko is like accepted like past wrongs and all of that, and that like I never admit to doing anything wrong.
I think that Brittany and Sneeko talks a lot. That's what I feel.
Maybe that was one of the things.
That's probably the thing, and I don't think you talk to Brittany that much.
I don't.
No.
But then this goes into the thing that I talked to you about, Lav, where like it's hard for me to hold on to friends if I feel like somebody else is working on them in the background. Usually I just disconnect because I don't have time to play those games in the background to try to make sure that somebody is not like talking shit and like I just don't have time.
Do you think that? Wait, are you saying that Sneeko is like talking shit about you?
I don't know. Maybe, I'm not sure. I don't know how these two. I think. My current perception, and everybody that I've talked, I haven't asked Brittany actually, but other people that I've talked to, you or Farah or anybody else that's like been around us, is most people say that in private it seems like Sneeko respects you. It seems like you guys are friends. It seems like you're pretty cool.
Yeah.
That seems to be the case. But if Sneeko gets connected to somebody that doesn't like me, I don't know if he's the kind of person that would defend me in front of another person privately. So like when I'm private, I don't know if you've seen it, but like there have been people that have brought up Sneeko privately to me, and I'll simp for Sneeko. I'll be like, no, you have to watch these videos.
She's doing it.
I don't know. I don't know about that, right?
I think that could be pretty. I think she's a person that likes to see good in people, and I think she does see good in people, and I think it's a good thing.
Then how do you come away with these opinions of me? Am I really that fucking retarded that I can't see myself so much?
She probably has a pretty strong opinion on the way you talk to your audience. A little bit.
Yeah, but then
you do come off as like a father figure quite a bit on screen.
Sure, but how many times do I fucking recommend like don't do what I do, or here's like some general advice, like, and this is the thing that bothers me too, and I understand what you're saying because it feels like at the end of the day all of this comes off as tone.
Okay.
Because if I ask, and this is why I say like, give me an example, give me an example, give me an example. If some people say this all the time, Destiny's relationships are crazy. Don't listen to any of his advice. What's a piece of advice I've given that's ever been bad about relationships?
No.
And there's never anything. Nobody ever has a single thing to say.
But I think here's the thing. I don't usually when people give a dating advice, I don't think it's usually to give advice. I think it's literally to ego yourself up. I think that's what most people do.
So people aren't listening to the words. It's just like a rhetoric, tone, like idolization thing.
Yeah, that's probably what people think you're doing. And you might do it a little bit.
No, because then I would just recommend everybody poly like me.
No, definitely not. But I think here's the thing. I think a lot of people when they talk about stuff like this, if you say like, oh yeah, I'm doing this, but you could never do it, I wouldn't ever recommend it. You still kind of bring yourself as like a How
do I get, because like when I was in my 20s, I did feel that way. When I talk about things that I do because I'm better than you. I did feel that way in my 20s. But I feel like in my 30s and my late 20s, I feel like I've qualified so much, like, don't do this, it's not working for everybody, I have a lot of problems. It's not, like, how many words can I say? Like, at the end of the day, I still think I like my lifestyle. If I didn't, I wouldn't do it. I could do anything I want right now. I wouldn't choose this lifestyle if I didn't like it. So, but I've never like told anybody like, oh, you should be poly, or like, oh, monogamy sucks. Hold on. As a comparison, no, let me say this. As a comparison, when Vosh talks about monogamy, right? There is a clip of him when he talks about it, and Vosh says, monogamous relationships are just for people that are really jealous.
Yeah, but I'm not trying to point that at you.
Sure, okay.
Yeah, it's not, that's like black and white. That's very, very simple. You can still say that poly relationship isn't for everyone, so I wouldn't ever recommend anyone to do it. You're still kind of, when you say that, it kind of comes off as you almost being like, but I can handle it.
So what do I say? Ever?
No. But like,
do I need to like turn on the stream with a black eye and say like, Melina's last boyfriend hit me like this? I hate my relationship, guys.
You're not listening. Shut up. You're not listening to me.
Okay, I'm listening.
What it can come off as sometimes to other people is this way.
I understand that.
Yes.
That's why I try to overqualify. So I'm asking you, what else can I do?
I think that usually, this is all I heard because I don't really watch the stream that much. I feel like the only times that you come off as a person that has problems is, is usually when you're bringing up a joke. Kind of. Like, yeah, I cheat sometimes, she caught me. That's like the only times where you're kind of showing like, I'm not that good.
Sure.
Kind of. Yeah. But I feel like the way that you speak usually implies that you're kind of perfect. Like, not the words you're saying, but the way you say it sometimes can come off that way. That's why everyone gets kind of surprised, I think. And usually...
Okay, so do I need to do like an hour stream where I'm like...
I'm not saying you don't have to do anything.
This is my story.
I'm just saying that you should be aware of it.
Okay.
That's it. I think it can come off this way to some people. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that you don't have to change or anything. Do whatever the fuck you want.
Well, the thing, I don't...
But you do speak a lot like a father figure.
Sure. I don't care how my audience... I'm okay with public perception of me. I'm okay with how they think about me. That's fine. If some people think I'm a little arrogant, blah, 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 that's fine. I don't know how somebody that knows me more personally can think about me that way. That's like if some random guy in my chat was like, Sneako's more open-minded than this, I was like, fuck you, you're retarded.
I don't think that Brittany knows you that much personally.
Okay, even though you've
talked, yeah, but I don't think you've opened up to her in a certain way that probably Sneako has.
Ugh.
Yeah, you haven't.
Then why not just say like then why not just talk about Sneako? Why compare me?
I have no idea why she brings you up. It's a little unnecessary. I don't personally like either when someone that we know is talking about a relationship super publicly, because like I know that you say talk about whatever. No one asks me ever if it's okay to talk about the relationship publicly ever. So I don't like that. Personally, I don't like it. You say that you're fine with whatever the fuck. So you... Well,
I'm fine with that in terms of people being public, not people talking shit, right? Like there's a difference.
No, but it's still a negative tone. It's like kind of like it's not your business, right? Like for me, I think it's like I'm not even there. I don't know the fuck.
Sure.
If someone brings it up, but like for you, I think you kind of said that you don't care. Like you're not putting up.
Do people
You're not.
Do people misunderstand that? Like I don't care.
Not,
like
no,
if I f somebody, let me get this out.
You're not clear about your boundaries.
Okay. So I actually have to treat people like retards.
Because you're saying that you're so chill all the time.
Hold on.
No, I'm kidding. I'm saying.
I understand. I just need to make sure I understand. When I tell somebody, okay, so when I other people, I generally tell them, hey, if you want, we can keep this on the DL, because I know that like if it gets out that we fucked, like people look at you differently, and I'm cool with that. I'm fine with that. If you want to keep that quiet, okay? If you want to talk about it publicly, I'm chill with that. That's cool if you want to do that, right? For somebody to take that and then come out and be like, oh yeah, I fucked Destiny. It was the worst experience of my life, and I fucking hated it. He was such a selfish loser asshole. Are you telling me that somebody, like Lav, when she made up half the details of our sexual encounter, right? Are you telling me that some people hear that like, oh, I'm chill, and in their mind they're like, oh, that must mean I can talk a whole bunch of shit and make up a whole bunch of lies without them like being true?
Because I think that you come off as a person that says, I can't feel anything, everything is...
So then you're gonna make shit up about me?
No. But
that's what you're saying, isn't it?
No, I'm not saying that. I don't have an opinion. I don't give a shit.
I'm
just saying that this stuff...
I need to cry. I need to have cry streams.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah,
Almost.
I
not
do.
Not really, but you have
I
to.
do.
You have to say that you get upset about certain things.
I am upset.
Yeah, good.
I'm upset.
Say you're upset.
I'm upset.
Say it louder.
I'm upset.
Okay. So, you know what some friends of mine have done to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like, did I really have to tell this person?
Not to do this.
Yeah. But because I was so chill, they thought I would be fine. Because I come off as a person, like my whole identity, I'm such a hippie and I'm so chill. So people do insane fucking shit sometimes. This is what they fucking do when you don't put out like, hey, there are things that I get upset about. Don't fucking go near it. You can do a lot, but don't fucking do these obvious fucking things.
Okay.
Yeah, it's insane. But I do believe that this is the case. It's pretty crazy. But you have to put your foot down and say, hey, if you're gonna fuck with me, I'm gonna fuck with you back. When someone leaks something about you, you're leaking it back. Because you have to put down your fucking foot and say that you have boundaries. You gotta do it, that's the thing. But here's the thing, you're letting people roll over you all the time. So people think it's okay to do whatever the
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I need to put up, like, don't make up lies about me in public. Don't shit talk me for no reason in public. Do I need like a guide, like a people's guide to being like a basic human being?
I think you're such a unique person. You're
I am
so,
unique. I am.
So
I'm very
good.
special.
No.
Thank
you're
you.
So good at. Hold on. You're so. Shut up. Stop. I'm gonna talk to you. You don't do that.
Okay.
You come off as a person that doesn't care about anything that anyone does to you.
Okay.
I don't know how you do that. You have to ask a psychologist about that. I don't know what the fuck you're doing.
It's my childhood trauma.
But sometimes I even think about that because I'm like, I am a person that gets upset, and I say that I'm upset, and I tell people that I'm upset more than you do.
Okay.
So sometimes even I can sometimes think that if I do this thing, that's okay. But if you did that to me, I would not be okay with it. But just because you're so chill, I can just do it. Shit like that. Like you do this.
Okay.
You do the same thing with money. People ask you for money and never bring it back to you. And you keep doing it. You keep sending them money.
Okay.
Why the
Right.
And you're saying that you don't have boundaries? You can
Okay.
send them.
You're right.
Yeah.
2023 is the year of the boundary.
Yes,
Okay.
it is.
I'm gonna have strong boundaries.
Yes.
Okay.
It's okay to have boundaries.
Yeah.
Do you know what you're being? I actually thought about this the other day. You when you were 20 said that emotions are stupid.
Yep.
You've been lately, boundaries are stupid.
No,
You
I'm
think
not.
it's a bad
I
thing?
tell people to have boundaries all the
Yeah,
time. It's
you
important.
Tell but you say, I don't have any boundaries. When you say
Yeah.
you don't have any boundaries.
And I should say I do have a boundary. Don't make up lies about me and talk shit about. Okay,
Yes.
you're right. I need.
Yes. You
Okay.
need- you need
I'm gonna
to-
compile a basic
People
list.
don't fucking know.
True.
People
Okay,
have no
you're
idea.
right.
People
Okay.
don't know.
Gotcha.
Anything else? Gotcha.
I'm good.
You good?
Yeah.
Do you talk to her? I think you should talk to her.
No!
What?
She just publicly froze me. I don't care now. If you want to come talk to me later, she can.
If
But
you want to have a war with her, you go ahead.
well, it's not a war. It's just listening to unbelievable.
She doesn't understand you.
Then I don't care.
No, because you haven't made yourself understand.
No.
You haven't.
I don't care then.
You're not.
No,
Well,
I don't care.
you should
If
care.
that's your, why should I?
Because you should keep friends.
But if
Because
somebody,
someone is doing something against your boundaries does not mean that they're a bad person because they didn't know about it. Like this case might be really, really bad, but this is just in general. Like you could not give a shit about Brittany anymore, but there's other people and you're like, you can't burn the bridges all the
they usually burn them. Okay.
Okay.
She is burning
yeah,
this
I know,
one.
but
Okay.
it's because,
I'm just watching at the other end.
Because it's so hard to know where the you're at. It's so hard to
Is it really that hard to just be like a normal,
Yes.
decent human being? That's really that hard? Is this beyond the pale?
You're
Like
letting it happen.
I'm letting them
Yes, you are.
rape me.
No, yeah.
You're
you
victim
can-
blaming.
No, you're
Yeah.
letting
Say it.
it
Yeah.
happen.
Say it. You were saying it. Yeah, I am. Say it. Do it.
You're letting it happen
Okay.
a little bit.
Okay.
Put your foot down. Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe you should have a conversation with her. It's content. Fucking go.
Well, I'll just.
It's content at least. Do it.
There's no.
Talk to her.
I already talked to her to the last one.
Talk to her.
It's one of those things where it's like if it's this egregious, I don't even know what I could say.
To be open for a conversation.
But then like,
talk to her. Call her.
But here's the issue.
Call her.
I don't want to.
Why?
Because if they're already making these assumptions, what can I possibly say? I already had a conversation after the last trauma thing, and she didn't take any of that. She still went to the psychologist, and she was like, hey, so I've got a friend that thinks that, like, promiscuous women love getting raped. Like, what do you think about that? That was her takeaway after our last conversation.
Sorry, I decided to come back. Tell her to go away. Okay. Say, go away, Melina.
Give me a kiss.
She's telling me to go away?
He wants to talk because he's having his moment. Love you.
I love you so much.
I'm glad we could fight and be miserable all the time so much.
What?
What?
Hey, we didn't fight now.
Well, apparently our relationship is horrible, Mel. It's horrible.
Is it?
It's horrible.
All right, how you doing?
Stop.
Oh, that's right.
Hi.
Don't say that, Steve.
Oh my God.
Tell them how much I love you.
Oh, no one's here.
You love me. Okay?
Awkward.
Show them. Show them. So now you're just fucking.
Yeah.
Oh,
Love bombing.
Yeah, love
Cycle
bombing.
of abuse.
He has that go off the fucking screen to love bombing.
Nope, I'm not.
You are.
No, I just
You literally are. And I gave you hot chocolate.
Yeah. Wait, this was mine.
Is it? No,
Yeah.
this is yours.
Okay. What is that?
Chai latte? Wait, why? Dan, why the fuck am I here?
Well, he's trying to because he can't hear you.
I'm listening to them.
Dan, did Dan just leave?
No, I'm here, but
Okay,
you either
I'm
need to fix Discord or not let this happen again. Because the most cancerous thing,
I love you. What's up?
Your microphone. Yeah, okay, she's gone now.
Yep, she's gone.
Oh, God, I hate women. Anyways, my advice is, I think you get rolled over too much. You give too many second chances. I thought about it a little bit in my time.
He thought about it in his time. Okay. Okay.
And I think that you should just fucking go with your gut, man. Like, I think that's probably the best course of action on this. Like, I don't mean to be. I was trying to put myself into my shoes or Mr. Mooten's shoes. Can you imagine Mr. Mooten ever doing something like that, saying anything even remotely like that wasn't so obviously joking? Yes or no?
No, I would drive up to Toronto and probably kill him and his wife and his family.
You're joking. Even saying in Minecraft doesn't matter now. You go to jail
that
for
one guy got arrested. True.
Okay, so that's a very edgy joke that you're making.
I'm
there.
on Twitch. You're right. I would never kill him, Mr. Moon. I obviously meant I would intimately. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
It would never happen. Is the bottom line? Is Mr. Mooten would never come on stream and be like, yeah, like I like Destiny, but he's a fucking retard. Like the farthest that he goes ever would be like, oh, Steven has no food taste, right?
Sure.
But
yeah, of course.
It's like a meme. So why is that different? Why would he not? And he probably doesn't not be. I don't agree either. Like a lot of people probably don't agree with things that you do. Like for instance, your relationship choices. But as a streamer, he still doesn't go on stream and be like, yeah, Steven's a fucking idiot. I can't believe he's giving advice when his shit is in shambles. Why? Why does he not do that? Even though he probably believes it, unironically. Because how couldn't you? Your shit's in shambles constantly. But still, why wouldn't he say it?
Because why the fuck would you personally attack somebody like that? Yeah.
Why would you attack your friend like that for no reason except to possibly get like clout or something? There has to be something you're gaining because you don't go and look to put down your friends or to harm your friends. That's as simple as it is. Simple as, right? At the end of the day, like if someone is your friend, I'm not going to go when I'm with my other friends and be like, yeah, Steve's funny, but everything he says is really fucking stupid, and he thinks he's smart, but he's not. Like, that's like, dude, the fuck? So that would be my logic, is I don't think this is something that's excusable to do shit like that. Does that make sense? I mean, maybe you're willing to give second and third chances, but it's kind of like, I think when someone shows you this type of information, you make use of it. Does that make sense? You don't, like, they've given you a hint of what they think. Take the hint.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, when you say maybe, it's because you think there's more complexities to this. And
no, I don't really. No, it's just something I have to. It has to sink in. You retard, okay? Who always says bad things about bad advice and everything. And I hate your children and your cats and your iguana killing gun. Yeah, I really do. I don't know. I just do. Okay, but no, yeah, I think I have to. I think I have to do better. Yeah, I just need to. It just sounds so fucking stupid to say, like, I need to set boundaries and tell people not to, like, talk shit about me publicly without having any factual basis. I don't know.
No, hold on. That's not what we're saying here.
What are we saying here? Tell me. Sorry, bring me back.
What we're saying here is that we're reevaluating if someone's going to be a fucking cunt to you. Like, that's probably not, like, your friend or being chill. Like, and if that's, like, good, thank you for showing me that. That's all there is to it at the end of the day. No, we're not asking people not to fucking talk shit about us. If they do, we're like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is wrong with you? And that's it. And you take the insight from them. There's nothing else to say. Do not ask people not to talk shit about you. But know that if they do, that's good information for you to have.
No, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, because that is super, like, stupid to do that. And it makes you look... That's all downsides for you to do that, I think. I mean, it sucks, man. Your shit is all for some reason. I don't know. What do you think it is about you that so many people want to... I don't want to say hurt you, but...
I think I have, like, I mean, like, I'm very confident, and it comes off as borderline, probably somewhat narcissistic or ego-driven. I'm sure that, like, obviously I'm very, like, aggressive and abrasive when I speak. So even if we're, like, having a friendly disagreement, I probably come off as being, like, more harsh than I should be. So people probably come away thinking that I'm, like, way more mean to them than I actually am. I've got a big audience, so anything that I, like, believe about a person, or even if I don't believe it, it gets amplified a lot. So, like, if my audience really hates somebody, then an individual that I'm talking to will think that I hate them like my audience does. That's, like, a really big issue that I've ran into multiple times.
Oh,
What?
you're just talk to Brittany.
No, shut up. I'm done with you. Talking to my good friend Dan.
No, because Dan is just jerking you off right now.
No, he's not jerking me off at all. What do you mean? You guys just disagree on...
No. Here's the thing.
No, you have to turn your Discord sensitivity up. That's it.
If you want to talk to us, go to Discord. You have to be in Discord if you want to talk to us.
Okay.
Forsen is never going to fucking beat the time, dude. Oh my god, he can't even move right. He can't even push the buttons. He's gone, dude.
You know, I think this whole thing sucks the most, and it feels like you're obviously more upset about it. I think because it sucks that, like, I know you were close to Brittany, and it just sucks that someone that you could be close to would even be in this. What do you mean? There's nothing to stop about. Like, it's just such a shit feeling. Like, he doesn't have a lot of good friends.
Do you care about your friend?
I hate these fucking things when you do this. Yes, I do. What's next? What's step 2?
The problem is that Steven seems to land into these situations constantly all the time. The problem is that he's letting it happen. If you want to help Steven, you have to tell him to change his behavior. About
what do you mean by he's letting it happen?
How he lets people just roll over him. That's what it is. You can't sit and just, like, talk poorly about Brittany. You can sit and jerk each other off, like, for the longest time. But if you really, really care, you have to tell him, hey, put down your fucking boundaries and, like, let it be, like, shown. That's what you gotta fucking do if you want to help them.
Why is it that Mr. Millionaire, me, and probably Devin and other people of varying levels of friendship with Steven have never had this issue?
With other people?
With Steven. With throwing him under the bus.
Because you're probably good people. But here's the thing.
So you're saying that Brittany's a bad person?
But also, I think you guys, here's the thing. You're good people. And I think you guys are pretty similar. And, like, I think you value similar things.
Wait a second before you guys continue this conversation. Just so you guys know, if you guys want to watch the rest of this heated conversation, you need to switch on over to the Rumble stream.
I'm not serious. I want $100,000. That's how much I want. I've been on stream for many years, and I deserve that money, and I want a new car. Okay? I'm serious. I deserve it.
Okay. It's in your bank account.
My point is, you guys are probably pretty similar. You probably have, like, pretty similar morals. But then there are other people with different perspectives, right? And some people can't read each other off well. I don't think Brittany's trying to be malicious. I just don't think that she's that kind of person. Maybe she is, because I haven't seen the VOD. I haven't seen much of it or anything.
Melina, it's not about that.
But my point is that I don't think
it's not that she's trying to be malicious. It's the fact that she can think and then also say it out loud. That's everything. What?
Dan, why do you think he has such little people in his life that is around him that for years?
He has high standards.
No.
But that's not a bad thing.
You think so?
I would rather have a core group of 5. Yeah, I'd rather have a core group of, like, 2 or 3 friends than a fucking 100 dick suckers would turn on me.
Shut up. Let me fucking speak. How many people since a year ago has left Steven's life?
Many.
Do you think it's because you're all bad people?
Well, I don't know why you're including me in that. I haven't left.
Have you? my point is that I think he definitely has a lot of crazy people. I think he gets attracted to the worst kinds of people. For sure. I think some people are not super bad. They just have a really, really hard time understanding other people, and I think he has a hard time understanding them. But I think also Steven is really, really bad at putting up boundaries. I really do believe that. And I think that's why a lot of people leave him in his life. And I don't think it's fun. I don't think he likes it. But he needs to be a lot more clear where his boundaries fucking stand. I think that's like, if you really care, you can't just sit and like shit talk Brittany, because it's not going to go anywhere, because it's going to be the next one and the next one and the next one over and over again. What you got to do is that you have to figure out like how does Steven behave, like change his behavior. How can he be better at putting down his boundaries and making sure that people are not doing this to him? Because I think that a lot of these things happen kind of accidentally. I don't think it's a malicious intent. I don't think all these people that's left the past year has been malicious. I don't believe that. I don't think that's how it works. I think it's just like really, really bad communication.
Yeah, I just completely disagree.
Wait, you think most of these people are acting in malice?
I think, are you talking to me or her?
Yeah, you.
I think that there's someone who think they can get something over on you. Like, that's all there is to it, basically. At the end of the day, I think like a lot of people, well, no, not like a lot of people, don't put up a charade of who you are. You act like what you're thinking, you say, you act as your own personality. And if someone's going to backstab you, or if someone is going to try and f you over, you get to know. And it's like, okay, I was my true self, and this person decided to try and fuck me over. And I think that's better than putting on a front, hoping that, oh, okay, if I act this way, or if I tell them this, maybe they won't fuck me over. No, I prefer to be exactly who I am. And if you're going to fuck me over, great. We'll both learn, and I won't have to deal with you anymore. And I think that's a much better strategy. I mean, but then again, some people go a different way. Some people want to have, as I said, like hundreds of friends and being universally liked by other people. And some people like to have just a true set of friends that they've known for years or decades or things like that. And people are like, yeah, this guy has my back. This guy is not, I don't have to worry about that. So I think it's a completely different set of rules.
Dude, it's so easy to just have miscommunication because you come from totally different backgrounds. If you wanna learn how to like work better with people and just get like better patterns, like I think you should at least acknowledge it. That there's probably cases with people that has left during the year that he still could have been friends with, but just because it was really poor communication and there was really poor like communication and boundaries.
Melina, what did Steven do wrong in this situation?
I don't really know much, but the thing is that I see the
communication could help.
I see the pattern that is happening all the time. And
yeah, what you're saying doesn't make sense. You can't say, "Oh, more communication." He didn't do anything. Someone just fucking backstabbed him here. What is he supposed to do? Oh, ow, that hurts.
Here's the thing. I need to see it. Like, okay, so you think that Brittany did this in a malicious way? Is that what you're saying? She just did this to backstab him. Is that what you believe?
Let me think about how to answer this.
Or do you think that this could have been avoidable in some way?
Well, I can't get into the head of what Brittany, because I haven't talked to her in months. I have no idea what's been going on with her, Steven, or not. I know that that's something fucked up to say. I know that if someone said something about me like that, that I wouldn't want to be friends with them anymore. And I think that if you have if you have such a low insight to understand that someone might react that way,
you know what you sound like? You sound like that fucking kid at kindergarten, and then you have a friend that plays with your doll, and then accidentally breaks it or something like that, and then you get like, oh, this person is so malicious. Like, I'm asking you, is this person doing this on purpose, or is this person that wasn't an accident or a miscommunication, and you can't answer it?
Because it doesn't matter. I guess the real answer
matters because it could have been better. Steven can improve as a person with communication and boundaries. That's what I'm saying.
It's not his fault that this happened. If you find out, if I go talk to some people and you find out, or whatever reason, I'm saying, Melina is XYZ and, so stupid and yada, yada, yada. Like, you don't get to be like, I mean, someone else doesn't say, oh, Dan, Melina should have just had better boundaries. Like, what the fuck? I was just saying she's a fucking moron.
Do you think that every single person in that case the past year has been all malicious?
No. I don't think that every falling out, I don't treat all situations as like, oh, it's because Steven isn't communicating better or anything else. I think each situation needs to be looked at individually and handled like that. Blanket policies don't work for anything like this. You just need to treat each situation like it is. That's it. You know, if someone's being a prick to you, evaluate it. Like, okay, what's my relationship like with this person? What happened? You know, do I need to give them the benefit of the doubt or not? I mean, Steven, what do you think? Why are you being so fucking silent here?
I truly don't know. I think that this is like one of those instances where I'm so I'm too deep into it. I don't think I can see. Like Melina is saying that I need to have more obvious boundaries, but in my mind, these are. I feel like I shouldn't have to set a boundary like this. It just seems insane to me.
What is the boundary?
The boundary Melina is saying is that I need to set the boundary of like, you shouldn't shit talk me and just lie about me publicly and like make things up or whatever, basically.
You know, that's true. I tell that to all my friends. I was like, hey, don't rape my family, don't run over my kids, and don't shit talk me constantly. That's kind of my boundaries that I do when I set friends.
You can keep going, jerking yourself up how malicious and horrible Brittany is. You can do that, but I don't say.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying
that's what you guys are doing. You're not talking about anything important.
Okay.
You're not talking, like, you can talk about this, like, that's fine, but like right now you're just like circle jerking. That's what you're doing. So I'm just saying.
You've never set your boundaries with me that I'm not allowed to like talk you or anything like that, but I haven't done it. Why?
I'm not saying that someone should like that you have to tell someone not to shit talk or anything like that. I haven't said that. That's not what I mean at all. I think you guys are trying to make shit up right now. Okay, how do I make myself more clear? I think that Steven is really, really bad at putting just down basic boundaries, just small ones that you would barely notice. So a lot of people see him as a person that you can do a little bit whatever the f with. Like, you can get whatever the f, you can say whatever, and it's okay. I think a lot of people come up with that sort of thing, and he can't get hurt. He's just like a dad that never has any problems, that is perfect, and he doesn't ever get really upset about anything. Like, if you talk about him, or you talk and say, hey, how do you feel about Max and Lav? He doesn't emotionally start talking about being really hurt by them. Like, not to a certain degree that makes you feel like, holy shit. Like, usually he's trying to just be like a really strong person that I didn't really care that much or whatever. But that's clearly not true, but he's not very open about it. So I think when he's acting this way, and he's not saying that he's upset, and he's not saying that this would hurt him, or even just random small things that I can't think about right now. When he's not making that clear, I think a lot of people don't understand him, because Steven is a very complicated person. It's really hard to understand him. Even me, as a person that's been with him for 4 years, can't fucking understand certain things about him. So,
well, anyways,
sometimes
listen,
I feel like accidents happen.
Okay.
And the thing is, like, I feel like this has happened to me so many times too, and this is something that I feel like I've like.
Oopsie, sorry, I didn't mean to tell you to go, whatever, fucking crazy. I don't have oopsies like that where I shit talk people publicly on stream, but that's me. But listen, I think we're just going to be.
Clearly, if it is shit talking, it's not a good thing. But some people can think that some people probably come off as him like shit talking other people when he's criticizing them. People don't know where the fuck the line is either. People have no idea. Steven is not just like shit talking someone's personal life, but he can sit and say negative things about someone's morals or what they believe, or call someone retarded. Like, he will say those sort of things, and I don't think that line is very clear sometimes for some people. So
okay, well,
people
listen,
think that they can say whatever the fuck about it.
Yes, Melina, I gotta run. I don't think we're gonna agree on this, but yeah, I disagree. But I have to go.
Okay.
I have to go. You'll be fine.
I'm fine.
Okay.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I gotta go. Yeah. Good luck. I don't know what to say. Bye.
Melly.
Hello. What do you think about this? Sorry.
Right now, I think I need to figure out how to make mods in my Rumble chat.
That's a good thing to do. Just try to focus on the things that you can improve. Nothing else matters.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. I think it's very easy to just, like Dan is doing, just saying that but this person is evil, whatever. I don't think that every single person that you've ever interacted with.
I don't think they're evil, but I do think it's a little bit wild that there are some like quote unquote boundaries that I would have to be so explicit with. Like that's just insane to me.
But like, okay, I'll
like
really
when
give
I say it's
example
insane to
that
me, what I mean is like I don't know if I would even want to do that.
No, you don't. Here's the thing. I'm not saying that you have to say, hey, don't do this to me. I think it's more in general, you have to say that there's certain things that you're not okay with. Like, it doesn't have to be really, really big things. Like you shouldn't have to say, hey, don't go fuck my mom. Like, you shouldn't have to say this.
Well,
clearly.
what communication boundary would have helped in this?
I feel like, okay, you're asking a 24-year-old here, but I feel like I'm trying to explain myself as much as I fucking can in this, my second language, whatever. But I feel like if you say that what Max and Lav did to you made you upset, if you legit like say that, you're putting down a boundary for people to understand that you're getting upset. I'm
fully admitting I might be too old and gone here because what you're saying just sounds like the dumbest fucking thing in the world to me. Like I don't think I would. No. Let me finish. I don't want to have a conversation with someone who's like, hey, when you lie about personal sexual experiences for the purposes of making me look bad, that hurts my feelings. That is a conversation I don't think I will ever have in my life. Maybe for younger people, you guys are having those I don't want to. I would just never talk to that person. Like, I'm like, this person is...
Could I ask you guys a question? I'm curious, Mel, what you would think about this too. So I think a lot of times when we think about boundaries, we think about people like explicitly saying stuff. But in my mind, when I think about boundaries, a lot of boundaries are actually communicated implicitly by like the way you react. For example, like...
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, so like say I made a joke about Melina, about like her feet. And I just meant it as a joke, but when I watched her reaction, she didn't say anything, but she got like a little bit sad. If I'm like a decently sensitive person, I would read that and be like, okay, it's a really, really soft boundary of like, for whatever reason, Melina doesn't want like jokes about her feet or whatever, like whatever that situation would be. Would you agree that that's kind of like a soft boundary, Mel or Destiny?
Yeah,
it can be, sure.
That's what I believe, yeah. That's why I said, like, if you're showing the way you react to the Lav and Max fucking thing, and you're saying, I don't really care about this that much. If you say that, you're kind of coming off as like, you can do whatever the fuck you want with me. Because you're not even saying that this is not okay. You're just saying whatever, kind of. So you're putting down a boundary there where you're basically that, pretty much. Or the small things of whatever, That's my point.
It's interesting that this is coming up right now because I've been spending like the last 3 days thinking about a similar issue that I've been having, which is like my chronic aesthetic. And I've been thinking about it in relation as well to like Destiny. And when I think about how so often like your relationships kind of implode in a really similar style. And it's not about rhetoric. It's not about like be more nice. But I think when you give people the impression that you're like this unflappable, impossible to hurt person, I think it's really hard for people to like fully view you as human. And I'm not saying that that's good. I actually think that that's a failing on other people. The issue is that a lot of people who will miss you in that way might still be worthwhile if you were just able to communicate to them more clearly. Is what I'm saying making sense, or am I like speaking some woo-woo shit right now?
You're making sense. I just refuse to believe that my social skills are like so much fucking higher than other people that like I'm the only one that can pick out like obvious things that you wouldn't make fun of somebody for, right? Like I'll joke with you about like psychometrician shit or whatever because I think that's funny and the President Sunday shit is funny and you know how I feel about that, but I'm not gonna go in on you about like probably about like your faith, about being a Christian. I don't think I'm gonna like relentless because that might be like a really personal, or like about your weight, not to say that you're fat, but like for things that like are standard things you wouldn't joke about, or like making fun of your appearance or whatever. Like I feel like there are pretty obvious things, and some things might be a little bit hazy, but I don't understand how you think you can like go on stream and like, oh yeah, like this guy gives a bunch of horrible relationship advice and his relationships are all trash. Like that's like such an out-of-pocket wild thing to say.
Can I say something just to be clear? I don't really know what Brittany said.
Okay, wait, then stop talking. Go watch the video. Go watch the video. Go watch the video. No. Yeah, you need to.
It doesn't matter.
Because it's really important for this conversation. No.
I don't care. I don't.
Okay.
Shut up.
All right.
I don't care.
Okay, I'm ignoring everything else you're saying, but go for it.
What did you say?
I'm gonna ignore everything else you're saying because you don't even know what the said.
No, but it's not.
Melina's
I'm talking about things
issue.
in general.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm trying to help you.
Yeah, but I feel like you need to know what she said for this. It's important.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
What I'm saying from this, what I can tell is that you are so bad at putting out boundaries. And it doesn't mean that you have to tell people what is okay and what isn't. It depends on how you react around people, on how you react to
Yeah, but what I'm
situations
telling you is I don't think this is a
the
boundary that
fucking
any
problem.
normal human being has to put up.
So
Sure, but you can sit and comment on Brittany and shit, but if you're gonna ask me for advice on why is this happening to me, I'm telling you, this is most likely happening to you. I would say most likely is because you're not very good at showing what is okay and what isn't.
I'm hearing what you're saying, but like,
stupid. People are dumb as for not understanding where their morals are at, whatever the fuck.
I understand what you're saying.
But if
Okay.
if you want to turn into a better person, this is what you got to do.
Okay.
So I think in a lot of ways you have an issue that I see, at least. You know, like those old Western buildings that have like a kind of that false front?
Yeah.
I don't think that you have a false front per se. The problem is that it looks kind of like that. So when most people meet you, they're going to read you in a couple of ways. They're probably going to think that you're a bit of an asshole, that you're super icy and cold, that you're unempathetic and you're uncharitable. Would you agree that most people read you this way?
Depending on how much of my content you've seen, yeah, I think that's pretty fair. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So the issue is, I think, for some people especially, they get very caught in what people appear as. The issue is that if people get to know you a little bit more closely, I'd say like you're probably one of the more generous people, probably one of the most generous people I know. But you have a lot of traits that are actually opposite. You're probably one of the most charitable interlocutors. Actually.
Okay, hold on. Before we go down this whole road, I understand everything you're saying. I understand everything you're about to say, I think. But my issue is that everything that you just said about me, do you think I could apply that to Sneeko? That he comes off as like pretty cold, pretty alpha, pretty whatever, right?
No, not
you
at
don't
all.
think so?
I don't think Sneeko comes across as like an alpha giga chat at all.
He tries to, at least.
Yeah, but everyone can tell that it's empty and fake. That's why everyone makes
Sure,
fun
but
of it.
regardless, that's the facade he's trying to put up. I would
No,
never.
but that's the issue, is the aesthetic that he actually. So he's trying to communicate one aesthetic. The problem is what he's actually communicating is that he's a Goomba moron that you can't take seriously ever.
Maybe to
right?
some people, but I mean, like, because do you agree with that for every red pill person? Because I feel like a lot of red pillers have like a similar type of aesthetic.
No, definitely not. Byron is totally different in like, I hate using this woo-woo word, but like energy than Sneeko. Like Myron, you can tell like.
Okay, what about that?
driven,
What about that?
needs
That
it.
what about that Allende guy or whatever?
Allende, I think, also gives off a lot of that aesthetic. I think he's kind of like in between, because the moment you talk to him in poke, he's like really clearly like deeply insecure.
Yeah, that's what
Whereas,
that's what a lot of these guys come off to me as. Maybe I'm reading that incorrectly much. But the only point I was just gonna make was that I feel like Sneeko, at the very least, tries to come off as all of that shit. I would never make a joke about Sneeko as like the cuck jokes that people make, because I'm not retarded. Sneeko has never ever talked to me about that. He's never asked me about that, and he's never established that boundary. But he doesn't have to, because I'm not a retard. I would never make that joke about him and roast him about that, because I know that's a sensitive area for him. Do I just have am I Superman? Can you tell me right now, am I Superman to detect that? Or is that just some basic level of human understanding? Like,
so I agree with what you're saying. I just think we're talking about different things a little bit. So what you're talking about is like basic human decency, and I agree with that, which is why I'm not like clearing anyone's name necessarily, but like how they've acted. I think that there's a lot of people who probably are over presumptuous with you. As Mel said, because you're kind of chill and easy, there's kind of like this assumption of like, I can probably say whatever, like he knows my heart, which is like probably not the best assumption to make about you.
I understand what you guys are saying, okay, but we're not connecting. Hold on. Okay, when you say that people are having these opinions of me, right? That, oh, like things won't bother him, blah, blah, blah. That's fine, okay? So, like, I think if Brittany was on her stream or whatever, and she said some shit where she's like, oh, like Destiny's goofy, like, he's got a lot of, like, crazy relationship shit going on, like, you know, that's, like, kind of whatever, right? That's a fair statement, right? Okay, fine, that's fine. And I would expect her to think that I wouldn't care, and I probably wouldn't care, actually. That's an okay statement. But she's taking it a step farther to justify the argument that I'm a whack fucking person that you should never listen to. It's a further step. It's not just somebody randomly commenting on my life. It's using that as a foundation for arguments. And like, oh, this guy, like, not only has some problems, he's a idiot. Don't listen to anything he says. He's crazy when he gives relationship advice, because his life is a mess. That's like a step farther than just like an innocuous comment, and now I'm like super butthurt over like, oh no, why did you say my relationships are crazy, blah, 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 blah. I wouldn't give a My relationships are kind of crazy. I say that shit all the time. That's fine. I think it's when you go a step further and you're building some insane argument about it that is like totally not even foundationally true. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. So I don't know. I'm not going to put words in Brittany's mouth. To be honest, this is why I think Mel's right as well. You probably just should talk to her when you're ready.
Wait, do you want to? Can we wait? Oh, so you haven't seen the video either?
I'm looking for the timestamp, but I haven't seen the video. Hold on.
Okay.
But what we are talking about is a chronic issue. So
well,
I think it's related to this. I think it is related to this. I think Mel is correct in saying this is a pattern. Because that is a pattern where people are like incredibly uncharitable towards you. And so I'll just throw myself under the bus fully. One thing I've been struggling a lot with recently is how people think I'm like a really like kind of cold person. Mm-hmm. And I'm frustrated because I'm like, if you spend any time with me at all, I'm like a very, very deeply empathetic person, and I'm soft. I just have my like boundaries, and I try to like do what I think is like best based on whatever like principle that I have. But it's sad to me to see like, why do so many people think that I'm like kind of this ice queen bitch? And like the reality for me at least is because like when I get anxious especially, I just throw up an ice queen bitch like veil. I'll get more dismissive, more derisive, right? Like I think about like the Darius situation that happened like months ago. Part of the reason why I think I just like got a little bit like dismissive towards him is because I realized I don't know anything about this situation. I don't want to ask him about it. I want to bow out, but I also wanted to save face and not just say, I'm sorry, I'm stupid, I shouldn't say it.
Okay, wait, okay. I understand what you guys are saying. I feel like it'll take you like 5 minutes. I feel like you should just watch and then tell me, because I feel like seeing the actual.
Can you send me the timestamp?
Yeah.
Because I can't find it. I've been looking for like the whole time I've been listening to
I
this.
absolutely can. Hold on. Give me one.
It is that Sneeko is more honest and in a better place to give advice. That's what you're upset about, right?
That's
I'm
one of them.
criticizing all of my friends.
So
for
yeah,
their choices,
I got the dry
but then,
fight insult, and people kept mentioning me, and I was like, what the hell? I wasn't. So I was like, okay.
Okay, here you go. Knock yourself out. I think this is the timing starting.
Also, Jesus Christ, you need mods on Rumble. Holy shit.
I don't even know if you can mod people in this chat. I didn't look beforehand because I'm a fucking idiot.
Okay. So you linked it to me, or did you just pull it up? Okay, perfect. All right, I'm going to mute while I watch this. Is that okay?
Yeah, go for it. I don't think Rumble has mods. Really?
I'm somehow not surprised by that. So I did send Brittany a message.
No, why? I don't need you sending messages on my behalf. Oh, I don't even know what you sent. I'm sorry. I just made an assumption. My bad.
Would you prefer it came from me or from like hundreds of autistic fucking
No, I don't care. I don't care. I'm good. Take a deep breath.
Okay. Well, she's down to talk. I just don't think she would like to do it on stream.
Okay.
Don't shoot me. I am simply the messenger, okay?
Guys, you guys are linking something called Rumble Talk. I don't think this has anything to do with like the Rumble stream. This is like a different product they have. I think. I don't even know if this is Rumble, I don't even know if this is the same owner. Stop? Yeah, something. Okay. I don't think there are moderators in Rumble, guys. It's just the wild, wild west.
I feel like I'm tanking a lot of the damage towards Brittany because everyone's just focused on calling me a retard now.
Good.
So there you go.
Based.
Okay, is it just a 5-minute segment? Is it just like
it's probably longer. I think I made it about 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 minutes. I don't know how far I made it. I was losing my mind like every other statement.
Okay, so she talked about you and Melina's relationship not being good, and then also talked about you not being as open-minded as
Sneeko, yeah, the paragon of open-mindedness.
Yeah. Okay.
More, and there's also stuff about how like Sneeko is open about him cheating, but not Destiny, and Sneeko owns the fact that he's hurt people, but not Destiny. All of that too.
How long is the video?
I don't know. I don't even know how long it goes. I'm not sure how long I listened to. Apparently,
I watched a little bit of it.
The original linker said 8 minutes.
Okay, I listened to about about at 2 times speed, so about 4 minutes. So yeah, that's about right. Okay. I basically, so how do I want to approach this?
Just say it. I don't care. You're not going to hurt my feelings. I have no boundaries. Do what you want.
No.
Do your worst.
Shut up. I get to think about how I want to approach things, right? Fuck off. That's my boundary.
She's thinking how she's supposed to express it.
Yeah.
Like, how is she supposed to paint up the things that she's thinking into reality through her mouth? Let her think.
Apparently, I watched to 1:27:15. 1 hour, 27 minutes, and 15 seconds is where I stopped.
Okay. I'm only at 121. Do you want me to finish it?
Yeah, keep going. Yeah.
Okay,
right.
you know, more in that case.
I'm just gonna watch a little bit more of this just so I have a better. Maybe she redeems herself at the end.
Actually, Discord said it really well. They said, I really like Destiny and I've been watching him pretty regularly for 3 years. But I've been thinking about calling him to ask him if he thinks he's maybe not the effective communicator that he thinks he is. If people are constantly misunderstanding him, quotations. Some people can be uncharitable, but I do think there's a pattern for a reason. Look, Destiny and I are very similar, as is Sneeko and everyone else. The place that I think I'm excelling versus them two is I know I'm not speaking for the general public. I know I'm speaking for Bubbles, but I think Steven does think he's speaking generally and normally, but he's not. And that's why he's misunderstood all the time. But also Steven has a habit of, I think, not being as forthcoming or honest as he could be in his work versus me and Sneeko. We're more than happy to throw our trash out there for the most part. I've seen Sneeko admit to hurting people on podcasts. I don't hear Steven ever owning the fact that he hurts people. Like, not really. And so again, that's fine. You can do that. But that's what I'm looking for in people. I'm looking for some sort of acknowledgement that, like, yeah, dude, I did that. And it's okay if you try to justify it to an extent, because I think that's our ego. But I think that's what I'm looking for. So yes, generally speaking, I have always heard Steven say that he's speaking generally, and I am not. I, Brittany, don't want to speak that way.
For one reason and one reason only. I knew people were going to call me a clout chaser. Sneeko was blowing up like crazy.
Sorry, super chat. Thank you so much from Kate. Your 20s are workshop years, learn through failure. Exactly, I believe that too.
Crazy, and people were going to
Depending on your bubble.
think I had ulterior motives. But seeing as the last video I posted has now become my most viewed video of all time.
Learn through failure depending on your bubble. What does that even mean? I'm sorry. It's okay.
Now is the perfect time to address the situation. And
It's
finally
okay.
put it to rest. Let's start at the beginning.
I'm triggered right now. I know I am. It's
Everything I say
okay.
will be 100% truth to my knowledge, and I will supply.
I'm at on a 1 to 7 scale. I'm at about a 6 right now, and you should only you should be at a 4 or less, I think.
To be the verbal punching bag. Look, don't say I'm not useful for that or something.
It's all good.
Best of my ability. You have my word, and I hope you trust me. I used to be a fan of Sneeko way back before he cosplayed as an alpha male. He used to make philosophical videos about life, people, and society, and I really enjoyed them. I thought they were well put together, well edited.
Stop it, Izzy. That's so fucking funny. Bill Burr said in your 20s are when you take your childhood out on other people. Exactly.
Shut the fuck up.
I see Sneeko and a lot of these internet boys as taking their emotions out on everybody else, but that is literally what everyone is doing to some extent.
No.
And I definitely was there too. I've been making videos forever. You know what I mean? And all of that stuff. So again, yeah, there's something about that. You know, are you being bad faith by calling Steven bad faith or dishonest? I don't think so. I think that how people have these conversations matter. Look, if you want to keep your life private, that's good. But you can't go around pretending you've like done right by the people in your life when you have hurt people in your life. So I don't think Sneeko can say I've done right by everyone in my life. He's never said that to me. I've never seen him really say that in a way that I thought was authentic. Listen, Sneeko on the internet is different. When Sneeko and I, like, if we ever talk privately, it is very different. It's like a real person that I'm talking to, and I think that that's really important. And I'm not saying Steven is a bad person. Like I said, I think the majority of the world is good. Okay, but I don't see Steven actually owning the fact that he's bad at relationships when he's giving relationship advice. He gives relationship advice, but he's not great at relationships. So again, I think that that's what's important. Sneeko can't give relationship advice about being in a committed relationship. It would make sense. He cheats on his girlfriends. So again, you can do whatever you're doing, but in Brittany
Doesn't he give advice all the time on how to?
His world, I am not going to pay attention to Steven's dating advice, given that he has admitted to cheating on Melina, admitting that he, like, I want him to say, I didn't treat her right and I fucked up, right? But until he says that, I don't. And if you're a person who thinks your cheating was good for something, that's fine too. But like, I'm not gonna let my friends date you. That's the rule I have with my the people in my inner circle. Like, if I think you're bad for your girlfriend or boyfriend, I will tell them, because like I'm not gonna sit here and let people get hurt by people's like ego journey. You know what I'm saying? Trevi says with a super chat again, can you go over some cons to introspection? Popping your bubble without a foundation can be really hard. So let's say you introspect and you realize like, oh my god, not only could I be wrong, but I could be living under an illusion that I'm right. And then all of a sudden you pop that bubble and you have nothing to go on to it. You have no way. Well, Chad is saying Steven admits to cheating, so I think that came out, but I'm not sure. Like that's what Chad's saying. So if he did admit he cheated on Melina, that's a great example of why he wouldn't be great at relationships. But that's just what Chad's saying. I'd have to ask Steven if him and Melina, if that was true, if that actually is on stream or something. But according to the comments, he said that he has admitted it, so I'm not sure what that means. Okay, so introspection can have a lot of lack of benefits because you might not be able to come out of it or from it. Look, it's really hard in the world to realize you could be wrong. It's so hard on you. It's hard on your body. You think you're smart. You're moving through life. You're like, I'm an intelligent person. I'm a good person. And then you realize like I'm a good introspective person and I still fucked up. When is it gonna stop? When is it gonna stop? Right? When is it gonna stop? And that's the question that's so hard to face yourself. And if you don't have a good way back, you might not be able to. Zahima says, so are you saying their open relationship is Destiny cheating on her? I'm not saying that. No, I don't think open relationships are cheating. Chad is saying he cheated. Is that true? Like, is Chad correct if he admitted to cheating on her twice? Chad is saying he cheated on her twice. Is that true? Like, is that something I gotta ask him. I don't know why my Chad is saying that. But if that's true, then I think that's a good point of like not the best. But I just think his drama online is proof he's not great at relationships. So yeah, I don't know. Chad is saying, I don't know what Chad is quoting. Yeah, can I prove he said he cheated? Because I don't know that that's true. That he cheated twice. He slept with Anna without telling Melina everything. Oh, that is true. Ooh.
That's not even true. It's okay.
He openly admitted it. Yeah, see, not great. I thought him just being with Anna was bad enough. Like him sexting Anna and still calling her a stalker. Like that is so. That's like way beyond my values. I could never do something.
Oh, the Max shit works too. Some of those narratives are actually carrying. Oh. Okay, I'm done with Brittany.
Wait, what happened?
Nothing. It's all good.
What happened?
All right. I think I finished everything. I think I'm caught up.
Go for
I'm
it.
at 132. Okay. Fuck. I think there's a bubbles issue. A big one. I'm not going to sit here and like defend everything that Brittany's saying or try to like mind read what I think she could be saying into a more charitable way. I genuinely think that conversation should be done with Brittany. But I'm going to basically echo what Mel has been saying this whole time, which is the false fronting. You kind of, because you act unflappable, in my mind, because you act like things don't hurt you, and because you're pretty much like, yeah, go ahead, talk about whatever, I think that can lead to a lot of confusion about like what to lean into. And the way that I read Brittany is that her and you are very opposite in how you come about understanding people. I think you're a lot more analytical, where you kind of look at all of their behaviors, their past behaviors, their future behaviors, and you kind of put together a pretty reasonable dossier of like who that person is in your head. And I think that's why in many ways you're pretty accurate about things that are going to bother people and things that aren't, because you kind of think about it in this way. I think a lot of times when Brittany processes the world and others, she's processing it and thinking about it in a lot more of like an emotional landscape. And I don't mean this in like a cringe, gross way that, well, you're on Rumble, so everyone's going to hate this shit, actually. So please get ready to be mad. But I think a lot of times she's less concerned with how things are specifically and more about how they feel and come across. And so your issue is that how you feel and come across to people is harsh and cold, and that nothing bothers you, and that you're kind of like open and honest about all of your parts, and you're a little bit unapologetic about how you could be like really mean, basically. The issue is, I don't think you lean into like the soft parts of you nearly as much publicly. And I'm not saying that you have to, and I'm not saying that you've done something wrong. Like, I'm not blaming you. I think it's actually unfair. The issue is that when people come away from you with an aesthetic that doesn't map onto like who you are as a person, if part of that is because of the front-facing parts don't fully cue people as to like what's behind there, it's understandable. Even though, again, I do think that there are a number of statements that Brittany said that did go too far. Like, when I listened to it, I'm like, oh, I really wouldn't have voiced, like, if I'm being even
I understand what you're saying. I just totally disagree. I think this is like beyond the pale. Like, if this was somebody like making a joke about me and Lily's relationship, and then I got like offended, I think everything you're saying 100% maps on and is totally fair. I just feel like this is just like, it's like, this is insane. It's too far, I think. It's just like these are like wild comments. I understand what you're saying. I'm
not,
and I clearly have some problem like associating with certain types of people that do this. Yeah. For some of them, I don't mind. Like Max was like, I can see that one coming. Maybe not as much privately, but I can see that coming. With Lav, I can see that coming. With somebody like Annalicia, it hasn't happened yet, but like I could see Annalicia doing that. I think there are a couple people with that weird Muslim guy, even with Zerka. Like there are people in my orbit right now, maybe Farah, because I don't know her well enough. There are people right now I could see it happening. But with Brittany, I didn't see that. I truly didn't. Like seeing somebody make like a comment that is like a little bit like insensitive, yeah, that's fine. I can understand that because of the type of demeanor that I have. But like, this is like, I feel like this is just like way too wild.
Yeah, I'm. This is why I'm really trying to emphasize to you. Like, I'm not saying that what she did was okay, because even if I gave her the most charitable, most steel man position of what she's saying, I still think there are things that are framed in a way that I would say are necessarily hurtful. Mm-hmm.
Because I guess like in my mind, maybe I just need to stop doing this because I am projecting literally. I'm trying to think like in her position, like even now. I think I've gone a little bit farther than I ever have before in terms of being critical of Brittany's relationship. There is a lot I could say about that. and you're familiar with her relationship. There's a lot I imagine that you could say about it. There's a lot I would say about it, but I don't. And like generally the furthest I would go. Actually, I don't even know if I would bring it up at all. I don't know if I ever have brought it up at all. But if I was bringing up a comparison, it would be like, oh, like Brittany's relationship was like pretty wild too. Like, you know, you met a guy and you like married him, like, you know, a month later. That's like pretty crazy to me. Like that probably the most I say. But she's like 20 steps beyond that. Like. I don't understand. There's just no demeanor I can think of unless you're literally like a kid with a stick poking a bear, saying like, how far can I go? How much could I fuck with this person to actually like get them like super upset about it? Like I can't imagine doing that. Unless it's something I hate. Like if I hate them, then yeah. But
can I ask you, what do you think? Like if you say that you can't think of anything, but if you really had to think, you have to guess. Like what are the options here of why you think she did this?
Could I just give a speculation? I'm the least qualified person even in this chat to talk about it, but doesn't Brittany have borderline?
No, stop. But we don't do that here. No, I don't believe in any of that shit. I don't believe in any personality or psychological disorders anymore, okay? We're in the real world now, okay? If I had to guess, if I had to... No, stop! Stop. Can I... Yeah, stop. Okay? Jesus fucking Christ. Okay. Stop. Okay. If I had to guess... My guess is going to be a combination of the rape conversation that we had. I guess the sex worker conversation we had in the past also triggered her. I wasn't aware of that. And then private conversations with people that I think don't like me very much. If I had to guess, it's got to be some combination of those three things. I would guess. Because I've never done anything remotely mean to her privately or publicly. I don't believe I have, unless I'm like autistically missing it. And I think I generally... advocate for her really strongly in my community. I ban people in my subreddit that shit talk her. Like I've said consistently, I think she's a smart person. I think that I think most of my community makes fun of me for simping for Brittany. Is generally like the impression that I have. I don't know if I've ever shit talked her publicly ever. I don't know. Maybe there might have been once or twice, and maybe I missed it. But like, so if I had to guess, it was those three things. Mm-hmm. That'd be my guess. But I don't agree that I don't think it has anything to do with boundaries. These comments are beyond the pale for boundaries.
Okay, so instead of her, okay, so because I don't know, but I feel like it could either be she's taking you for granted because she either does intentionally or she doesn't really know, or she is a person that's kind of doing this on purpose to get something or doesn't care about you.
I don't think it'd be on purpose to get something like clout. Like she doesn't seem like the kind of person to be like, oh, I'm saying this for clout or whatever. I don't think she would do that.
So why do you think she's just doing this out of being emotionally angry with you?
I think what I said before was it really feels like that trauma conversation dramatically like reshaded her entire view of me, and I think she started to reinterpret a whole bunch of past things. I think, That's all I can think of. That seems to be like the leading thing in my mind that makes the most sense. That after we had that trauma convo, she got a dramatically different view of me, and now she's like reinterpreted a lot of past stuff. That's my guess.
If reinterpreted might not be the best phrasing, but it is possible. It is possible that it is like clouding her, like the way that she's interpreting with you. But I guess I would ask, what do you think happened in that conversation that led her to like potentially like have like this kind of like emotional negative read of you
in the trauma conversation? Mm-hmm. Because rape is a super heated conversational topic, and she has a lot of unprocessed stuff that made her ill-equipped to have that topic, and her jumping into that conversation and having it trigger the ever-living out of her. And so I think she went into defensive mode because a lot of the things that I was saying, she was interpreting as direct attacks on her identity. When I say things like when I say something, like to me, when I say something like maybe your background or how you view your trauma could influence like how traumatized you are, what she hears is I shouldn't be traumatized because I should have just thought of it differently. When I say things like maybe people having certain predispositions will when I say maybe people having certain predispositions or lifestyles will make them less likely to be traumatized, what she hears is Steven is telling you, Brittany, that since you're into BDSM or promiscuous, you should have loved your rape. It shouldn't be a big deal to you. I think that was how she was interpreting all of those statements. And because she was emotional when we were having that conversation, none of that felt walked back to her. Even when we, I guess, had a clarifying conversation later, it didn't matter. I think she still has those impressions of me in her head. I think that 100% she still has those.
Okay. So do you think that in any way, I'm going to go back to the broad chronic aesthetic thing, because I I cannot shake that I think that this is something that you genuinely. I don't know how else to explain the phenomenon of pattern of relationships and how they break apart. And I'm not talking about like the Max Mr. Girl. I'm talking more like the Hassan, kind of like, are they Austin crew or whatever? Like these types of affiliates like falling apart.
Yeah, I understand, and I understand there's a temptation to apply like an interpersonal lens to it, but all of these relationships are significantly complicated by the public part. So like, for instance, like I could never talk to a normal person about like, well, what was it like for you to not be friends with this person anymore? Hassan, like, well, we had massive public audiences that were very closely following the political disagreements we had that were driving like, because technically, interpersonally, nothing bad ever happened between me and Hassan, ever, right? We stayed at each other's houses, we hung out, like we never ever had an interpersonal problem. All of it was like public facing. And that's even true to some extent with people like Max and Lav to some extent, or same thing with Vosh. Like my issue with Vosh, nothing personally ever bad happened between us. I don't know if we ever had a personal fight ever. Even when he would come onto my stream to call in and like argue with me and shit, like we'd usually like laugh and joke at the end of it. But the public facing thing I think is significantly impacting a lot of these types of relationships. I'm trying to think of like if there's been like a personal thing,
right?
What?
Like it ups the ante and it like strains things in a way that like relationships are almost ever like tested or strained upon.
It's not so much that it ups the ante, it's that it's creating entirely new side bets. Like I don't think in general, no normal human being is thinking like, well, I've got this friend in my opinion, and my other friend has this opinion, but like our opinions are diametrically opposed, and the ways that we make our money and our jobs are like, it's like that kind of thing. It's like a totally different thing. It would be like, imagine if like two friends were like close friends, but one works for Apple and one works for Microsoft, and like every week they went to a bar and they had to convince everybody whether or not they wanted to buy Apple phones or I'm sorry, iMacs or like fucking PCs, and like the person's jobs and income were riding on it. Like that would be like the added stressor that a normal human being would have, that I think is like unique to a lot of my public facing relationships.
Yeah, okay. So then I think this is actually, this chronic aesthetic stuff is, I think, something that strains the public-facing relationships the most, because I think like this is something that almost never occurs in private relationships, which is like how basically hundreds of uncharitable people interpret you as an individual, even though a lot of the interpretations are incorrect, right? So I wouldn't be surprised. In fact, I'm not surprised to find out that lots of women might be hesitant to like befriend me in the space, because I give off a couple of different aesthetics that I think are very silly of me, and that I shouldn't give up, specifically because they're not really true about me, which is that I'm ice queeny and kind of bitchy, and that I'm just like vying for like men's attention. I can understand to some extent why people get this read from me, especially if they're not like granting me the time, or also in part because of like my chronic energy of like how I acutely react to situations, which is like to be unhurt. Like I don't show my emotional softness. I'll just like get angry or like kind of like try to dismiss you and like undercut you instead. And so I think what happens with you as well specifically is that like when you're public facing in general, the way that you read to people chronically,
I understand, or sure, I understand what you're saying here. I think that Brittany's comments are beyond the pale of just like being like a little insensitive. Like,
I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm not disagreeing with that. The issue is that I'm concerned that if just the trauma conversation had happened and this chronic aesthetic problem wasn't occurring for you, I don't know if this would be the outcome, right? I suspect, in fact, the trauma conversation itself probably would have gone better as well.
Can I ask a quick question? Would you still be as upset if she felt exactly the same way, but she hadn't have said it on a stream? Would you still be upset by the fact that she feels and thinks those things?
I don't know if I'd be as upset, because I just don't know if I'd come across that way. But no, I'd probably be a similar level of upsettedness, I think.
I think so too.
Just so you know, Steve, we're not like agreeing that Brittany, like what she did is like a good thing, or
I know that.
like,
Erudite,
we're not
I know. Yep, I understand that.
Okay, good. I'm just making sure, because it sounds, I think our point is more like, hey, if you don't want to run into these sort of issues, what can you do better?
I understand that, but I disagree that it's a boundary thing.
Would you agree though that what we talked about with like implicit boundaries?
It might be the forward-facing like cold aesthetic that I have. Maybe that could be it, but
and you can put boundaries in that sort of stuff too.
There's no boundary that would have helped me here with Brittany.
You don't. Boundaries doesn't have to be written or like
even implicit. There are no implicit boundaries. That like it's the fact that she even has these thoughts of me that it's like so insane to me.
Do you think she made that up, or do you think she's crazy?
I just think she has a really bad impression of me from the conversation that we've had publicly, the two, I guess, about sex workers and drama, and then one maybe she has privately.
Do you think that the miscommunication happens in her head, or do you think it is elsewhere?
Miscommunication? No, I don't think she's miscommunicating. I think...
Well, I mean, there's a disconnect. Either she or she understands, but she's lying.
No, no. It's not a disconnect. She's accurately, her mind and her mouth are working. She just has a different opinion of me, or she sees me in a different way than I see myself.
Yeah. So you're saying it happens in her head, like she has the wrong view of you.
Oh, sure. Yeah, she has what I would perceive as like an incorrect perception of me. Yeah.
She doesn't have she doesn't have the tools to understand who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm asking you, what do you think, you're expressing yourself bad, or do you think, like, what do you think it...
Not that bad. Not if she's going to, like, market herself as, like, a level 5 introspective person and then get so raped on I'm sorry, oh my God. And then get so triggered, I meant to say, about a rape conversation that it, like, permanently, like, completely shades her fucking view of me afterwards. That's just, I guess that's just, like, extra annoying to me, I guess. Yeah.
Okay, then I wonder, do you care to try to be able to communicate better with people that has very little tools to understand what kind of person you are?
No.
Okay, well, in that case, if you say so. If you don't feel like you care about, because here's the thing, life is life. You're gonna run into this sort of shit again. Either you can try to learn how to communicate with different kinds of people to make them see you better.
The change I need to make is just who I vouch for publicly.
What does that mean?
I just shouldn't have vouched for or defended her so much. Who's in this room? I would dump every single one of you included, Melina and Erudite, if you guys had like these fucking insane opinions about me. I just wouldn't even talk to you again. If Erudite was on her stream saying like, yeah, like I think Steven just thinks that like promiscuous women like really like to get raped. Or if you were telling friends like, yeah, I think Steven really thinks that like women that sleep around a lot, they just don't care about getting raped. I would just stop talking to you. You'd be back to fucking Sweden tonight. And Erudite would be the next person on my hit list, the Daliban hit list. If you guys actually thought something that fucking insane about me, it would be crazy.
Hey,
right?
Right now you're just saying that this is important to you, that someone doesn't treat you this way. Good.
And no. It's not about a treatment. Some people treat people shitty. That's whatever. It's the idea that somebody has of me is insane to me.
Like the picture that she's created in her head of you is unfair. Okay. But the issue is, I genuinely think that boundaries are also part of this. So like this was a really tough conversation that Nick and I had to have because of my stuff. I'm very primed to kind of assume like more negative of particularly like men in my life. And so a lot of times when Nick would do things that maybe were hurtful or whatever, like he bungled things or I didn't understand and I was hurt, I would like come away with this perception of him that was, to be honest, really unfair. Like a really, really unfair interpretation of who Nick was. And Nick and I had to have a conversation where we sat down and he was like, I need you to not be willing to even entertain viewing me in this way because you know that this isn't who I am, and it's really, really hurtful when you like basically disregard all of our past because your emotional feelings are so much more real to you in this moment. Like this is actually part of like this like kind of interpersonal relationship boundary dynamic.
So how could I have changed this one? What does that mean?
I'm not. Again, this isn't about fault.
No. I'm not mad at it. I'm not fault. I'm just trying to. In terms of responsibility, like what different thing could I have? I don't give a fuck if you blame it. I'm not
Ask
on that
yourself.
shit. But I'm asking you, like, what's like a different approach that I could have taken to like alter, I guess, like this perception of me that somebody might have.
I don't necessarily think that she has a normal or typical view of relationships, which is how she ended up getting to the point of thinking where she is, right? I don't think it's anything that you did.
Well, but there's past problems with this too, so there's obviously a pattern, right?
Right.
Yeah, do I need to do cry streams or what, Erudite?
Yeah. Basically, unironically, yes, but no. Like, not actually cry streams. What I think the issue is this is where you're really coping, right? Remember when I was over in Miami and we asked you about the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once, and you told me what it meant, and then you gave us a cheeky smile because I knew you didn't believe that that's what that movie meant, and you knew that you didn't believe it. You were just saying some shit.
Wait, about what? For what?
You were saying it about, like, success and stuff like that.
Oh, maybe because I was trolling you or what?
No,
I'm
you gave a real answer, but that's not what the answer was.
Yeah.
Wait, I said that movie was about success?
Yeah.
I would have to. I don't think you're. I would have to go back and remember this conversation.
I remember I was in the room when you said it, but it just.
If I said this, then it was because I either didn't want to talk about it or whatever. Like I've talked about this movie a ton on stream. Like there's no way that I would give that fucking answer.
It could be the case. Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
This had to have been. Yeah, in a more casual conversation. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't want to give that impression that like in real life I'm saying, because there's no way. I obviously don't believe that. But okay, but go ahead. Maybe I might have said this in a conversation. I'm trolling. Especially saying I like smiled afterwards. We were just like fucking around. Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Sure. The issue is, so I've noticed a pattern, which is that I think it's easy for you to lean away from like the Fifi stuff because like neutral's really easy for you. You are, for the most part, a really steady Eddie emotional person, and like getting into the emotional stuff, I don't want to put words into your mouth, but I'm just going to say it feels some sort of way for you that you're just like, I'm not really interested in this shit. It's a little bit cringe.
Wait, about what? Everything in life, or emotions, or everything ever all at once?
When it
or
comes
what?
to sensitive topics.
Sensitive topics, people who've hurt you, yeah.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Like if we ask you about Max and Lab, can you explain what that felt like? You're gonna cringe doing it. Usually you do.
I mean, usually it's like annoying and you just move on to the next thing, right?
Yeah, I know, but that's the thing. Like I think it's really hard for you to sit down and like talk about what that felt like. Yeah.
Like the reality is like when we look at like Max and Lab's situation, and I'm not going to ask you to do more because again, like publicly as well, I think it's really fair to be like careful how you're couching your own emotional like stuff with the public, because it gives enemies weapons basically. So I understand it. The issue is that like Max and Lab, it's not just like a little annoying. Like that's not real. That's not real at all. And I'm not going to ask you how you actually feel or like get you to like go into like a cry sesh. But the reality is like, for you, my understanding is it was a massive breach in trust and a violation in a way that you really didn't expect. So it was mind-fucking in multiple levels, and I think it did genuinely really upset you because you were going out of your way to do cringe Fifi shit to try to like bridge being more human basically and like connecting with friends emotionally about issues, and then in response to that these people like betrayed you because they unironically think that if you give them emotionality they like get to take more. So I don't know, it's really weird.
Sure, that's probably a little closer to the truth.
Yeah. The issue is when you talk about it, you like do like some 2016 like fucking 4chan shit where you're like yeah, Fifi's are pretty annoying, and then you like move on, and that's the aesthetic that you give most of the time with like pretty heavy emotional stuff.
Yes, like so people are not going to understand like how heavy things are for you, so they are just going to assume that they can do whatever the fuck to you without you even feeling anything about it.
Yeah, like personally, I genuinely don't always know what things are actually okay, because I know you're always going to tell me that it's okay, but I realize that there are going to be some things that in my world I would think are totally reasonably to be sensitive that I know you legitimately won't give a fuck about, and then other things that I'm like, he'll probably care about this, and you do actually care about it. And so like a lot of times when it comes to like my dynamic with you as well, I'm not going to say like I'm walking on eggshells, because I don't think you'd ever snap at me. I think you would try to like reasonably resolve it like between us, especially if I wasn't like being super public and like retarded about it. But even I don't fully know like which direction to step and walk. And again, this isn't like your fault, you're not doing something bad, but it does leave like this question.
Yeah, I guess, but despite you having the question, you're not fucking retarded. Like you've never done anything that I'm like, wow, Erudite is a fucking retard. Like I've never seen you do that before.
Sure, but I'm also like not Brittany, and I don't think it's like fair to like put on Brittany the way that like maybe I would.
To not be a fucking retard? Is that too much of an expectation for like most people?
That's my job. All right.
Okay.
Back off.
Kind of. It is a bit of a like high expectation, because like don't be a fucking retard in like one bubble is not the same as it is in another bubble.
Maybe.
When you say pattern, we're not talking about within Brittany's behavior, right? You're talking within all of your relationships.
Yeah, my history of public-facing relationships.
Yeah, I don't know if you should necessarily be looking for a pattern here, because there will be with some, right? You do like attract some fucking weird people, and they are likely to behave then in.
Yeah, but the only problem with this everything was just that I vouched for her. Like if I wouldn't have done that, I wouldn't have cared. Because then it would just be like, oh, it's like another like weird person.
Can I ask you something really cringe?
What?
How do you feel about this?
I mean, it's not like I know her that well. Like, it's not like we've like, if we'd spent like a ton of time together, I'd probably be more sad. But I guess like it's just kind of annoying right now that her opinions might be so fucking wrong. We have had like some, and haven't we had like 4 or 5 conversations on stream that are like 1 to 4 hours in length? Like I don't know, it's just wild to me. And then for her to like just say blatantly wrong things, and then for me to overestimate her intelligence, where she's like, oh yeah, like I think Sneeko is like super open to like a whole bunch of things. Like, are you actually fucking retarded? Like that's wild.
You mean
to me.
emotionally open? She's like, to be honest, if I'm mind reading Brittany, which I don't want to too much, she literally means emotionally open.
Because what does that mean? What does emotionally open mean?
The opposite of you, right? In many ways, you're hard to read because...
Yeah, but she's talking about her context from personal conversations. We've had personal... Right. I think I've had personal conversations with you. Do I feel emotionally close in personal conversations?
I would say that I can tell you're trying to be open, but it is absolutely like desaturated compared to, for example, having a personal conversation with Sneeko. Just because I think like Sneeko very much leans into his...
And you think that when she said open, she's just talking about how open he is to like... I guess I disagree with your interpretation there of her saying Sneeko was open. Or if that was... Yeah, that's like an alternate... Oh, no, I'm sorry. That is correct. She said open-minded. That is a word that she said explicitly.
Yeah. So I think you're hearing that. I hear that as not like ideas, because I would say like, obviously you're more open-minded to ideas and like worldviews than Sneeko. You're just a little bit more closed off emotionally. And so,
yeah,
like,
but I think if somebody said that, I think I'd be okay with that. That's probably true.
Yeah.
So wait, sorry. What do you think Brittany meant by that exactly?
That he's like open to like new ideas and new experiences and isn't as like set in his ways, and that he's like willing to hear like different points of views and stuff. That's what she meant. I know that's what she meant.
Or did you say that it's more about like if you ask him an emotional question in private, he will answer it more honest?
No, I don't think it was that at all.
Okay, well, in that case, she's wrong, clearly.
Well, yeah, but I mean, that was the whole context of that conversation, was that, like, I get bad advice, my relationships are horrible, blah, blah. I'd have to go back and see the exact quote, but it came off as that, like, yeah, Sneeko is, like, very, like, open-minded to, like, new things and stuff, which is the exact, that's one of the reasons why that comment is, like, so stupid. I think now if somebody asked her, she's going to rewrite it with the interpretation you guys have given, but, I don't think she was talking about just, like, open emotionally. I don't agree with that, not at all.
Well, he's quite a simple person that's easily influenced, right? That could come across as someone that is more open-minded.
Yeah, but he's like the most like prescriptive, like red pill matrix guy in the fucking world. Like I don't know.
He's an unthoughtful dumb fuck. The issue is that like he honestly wears his heart on his sleeve a little bit, like probably too much, which is why it's like very. That's why when you look at him, you can tell that he's fucking faking all this shit.
Yeah, but it's not. Like, I don't agree with where's your heart on your sleeve. I think is a different connotation than like a false bravado, which I think is what he does. Like Sneeko hardcore fronts his entire personality. It is a fabrication from his mind of what he thinks an alpha red pillar looks like. And I agree with you that you can see that it is insanely brittle and very tattered around the edges. But I wouldn't call that wearing his heart on his sleeve. That's like wearing his heart under like a tattered cloak. Like where you can obviously see.
Both?
No.
Can it not be both?
No.
Sure. I guess I don't know. I don't need to get into Sneeko too much because this is like a divergence from the main topic, and I don't want to be Sneeko by any means.
Yeah, it's all good. All right, well, do you guys have anything else to say before I go play video games and watch videos?
You want to talk about this anymore? Talk about any interesting topics?
Well, it doesn't sound like there's much more ground to cover.
All right, what's your takeaway? Are you basically... Sorry, what's your takeaway from this conversation? Just so I at least understand. I'm not saying you have to agree with me. I'm just trying to understand where we're ending this conversation at least. Like, what's your interpretation of the conversation? Meta.
I need to hardcore... let me think. The problem was Brittany passed so many of my... red flag filters. Like, she's older, she's very open to conversation, she seemed to have a good understanding of other people's emotional boundaries. We had maintained a relatively stable relationship for, was it over a year?
I think so.
She seems to be relatively low drama. I haven't heard of her being involved much in anything negative with other people.
Based on all this, do you think it would be worth talking to her to try to collect some more data to figure out what you missed at least?
No, I'm past. I'm way over that.
Not to like reconnect or anything. It's not about that. It's more about like understanding or like just gaining more.
Wait, hold on. I'm so sorry. One second. Somebody's saying you can mod by clicking the 3 dots in the chat when hovering over the user chat. Those 3 dots, the only thing that I see when I do that are mute user for 5 minutes for this live stream forever, or manage muted users. Those are the only 3 dots I see. There has to be some other filter that I need. Maybe that filter is literally like BPD. I don't know. There has to be some other filter that I need that didn't catch her, I guess. I don't know what it is. I think that's a CEO Rumble. Yeah, I think Chris is, but I don't have those dots. Maybe my account needs to be flagged for something, or maybe I needed something else on my account to do that. But this is my first stream on this platform, so I might. I mean, I imagine tonight
So you can at least say, I have not been able to mod. I disavow.
No, I don't disavow. I actually agree with every single thing that's been posted in my Rumble chat all night tonight. Thank you.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Why do you
Damn.
think we're arguing against you?
What?
We're not against you, but why do you think we're arguing for the sake that we're arguing? I'm curious, just what you.
Why is
get
who
out of it.
arguing for what? Who? I don't know the pronoun. I don't know you're referring to.
Because me and Erudite say that this is probably a thing that you could kind of like easily fix if you just like understand that I think you're just bad at putting up boundaries.
I don't think that this with Brittany had anything to do with boundaries. I don't think there's a single boundary here that I could have put up that would have changed this, implicit or explicit.
Maybe not.
He also said he would have been as upset if she felt exactly this way but hadn't have put it on stream.
Yeah, I still would have felt. Yeah.
I think it all just here's the I think it all matters is like if it is the case that she was like trying to like do this intentionally to try to hurt you or something like that, I think that's a different thing. But if it's legit just an accident, which I don't know if it is or not, like there's some sort of miscommunication.
I don't think it's an
care
accident. I
about
think she
them-
has a view of me in her head that is so wildly divergent from the view that I have of
Yeah.
myself. So the question is my view accurate or is her view accurate?
Yeah.
And if it's that divergent, then why would I want to have a conversation on that?
But do you think that there is anything that you could have done better in the way you show yourself to someone? Because it's not just about Brittany, as I said. Like I don't want to loop too much or anything.
Well,
but
we're asking like, hold on. We're about to launch tagging in chat like at Chris Rumble should be live in 10 minutes. We'll update when it's live. Oh, thanks. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I have to think about it more. I'm not sure.
And you don't want to talk to her, I think, maybe because you're disappointed. Not just angry, but that's why, right?
Yeah, it's way too much. Like ultra harsh public judgment and criticism on my life, and then using it to like invalidate like things that I'm saying is just like it's an insane amount of
It is really disappointing when someone thinks really differently of you than you feel of yourself.
Okay. Do you think that you'll think about it more? Because I don't know how much to ask of you, and it seems like you're done. I just want to make sure.
You can ask anything else you want. I just don't want to loop on the same like 3 talking points. If there's something else,
Okay.
Why when you said that you're implying that there's something else you want to ask?
No, I wasn't implying that. There's something else I want to ask. Sorry, I didn't mean to make it sound that way.
Oh.
Go on, Erudite. Think on the spot. What can we talk about? How can we make it less awkward?
No, I'm not trying to like. I don't care about being. I don't give a fuck. I'm comfortable in my fifis. Okay, I'm very brave. Yeah, I'm disappointed to hear that.
Wait, hold on. Give me 22 seconds. Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
Are different. Okay, I wish him the best. I hope Steven's having a great day. I hope he really does message me privately. I'm gonna challenge Steven. He always has a hard time having close relationships with people. You can message me privately. Especially since on stream the other day, bro, you said you literally weren't even sure if you could like know Melina's traumas or triggers or something like that, and I was cracking up. I think everyone's different, but I have really close and intimate relationships with people, and I allow people who give me a chance, like want to get to know me really, I give those people a chance. If you want to get to know me, you can call me privately. If you want to farm me for drama, I'm not gonna come on your stream. Because I'm not in that business. I'm just not. I'm not in that business. But it's fine that you are. Capitalism.
Okay, it's all good. It doesn't matter. I blocked her on everything. Okay, sorry. Go ahead. What were you saying?
Really?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, you know what? It's actually probably good for today, but you can always consider, changing your mind in a few days.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, well, you'll say that now. I'm just saying you can consider it. I'm not saying you will.
Okay.
Anything else? Erudite? Not so erudite? NSE?
Yeah. Yeah. The
article release date just got pushed back 2 more months. Oh boy.
Yeah, that's so much more. I do hope that you reconsider talking. I think it would be worthwhile. I think that you probably should give it a couple of days. I understand that you are just wanting to write it off. I think the fact that basically she passed all of your flags and then this... Sorry. Freya, stop.
Are you talking to your husband or a dog?
No, my roommate spilled dog treats all over the floor and she's like...
Jesus.
She's small. Sorry. Dog. I think if she passed all of your flags and checks and you truly never expected this, I think that means something.
Yeah,
and
I think so.
suspect there's something going on. And I guess in my mind, I think it's worth finding out because, to be honest, I just don't see Brittany as a malicious actor.
No, I don't think she's malicious. I still don't see her as a malicious actor. I don't think she's malicious.
Right.
I think that women are emotionally retarded on topics of trauma, and I should just avoid ever talking to any woman about that thing again. And I'll be good to
shut
go.
up.
Boom.
Stop. Not fair.
Problem solved.
Stop.
Easy.
Stop. Not okay. The thing is that she can't see you for the way you are, and you think you've given her all the tools, and she can't do it. That's why you give up the relationship.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay, that's what it is. Okay, well, that's your choice.
Wow.
Yeah, I think what looks like emotional vulnerability to you, most people, especially somebody like Brittany, who's done like a ton of like probably like extremely woo-woo emotional stuff in like psychotherapy and stuff like that, is like our conversations that we've had that are like deeper and stuff are very like rich and deep, but like as far as like my experience with like really, really intense, like emotionally like emotional deepies basically.
What do you think about Pisco? Do you think he's gonna turn? Give me a prediction right now. Pisco's another person that I would have considered that I picked up on this last arc of like making friends. Yeah.
Why?
Wait, what are the odds on me turning?
I don't know.
Hello?
Why are you memely asking this?
I'm seriously asking. I don't fucking know. I would have
this?
never expected. I think I said like 3 months ago, I trust Brittany with my bank account information on stream. I'm pretty sure I said that. I had a lot of trust in Brittany.
I don't think Brittany turned on you.
She just sees me as a pro-rape, anti-sex worker, horrible fucking advice-giving, relationship disaster person.
I suspect that so from my understanding of her, when she talks about close, intimate relationships, it's a much, much, much deeper level than maybe what you're talking about.
Which is fine. I understand that. But hold on, you're missing my problem. If Brittany would have said, like, I don't think that me and Steven are, like, close friends at all. Yeah, that's fine. I totally, I wouldn't be surprised. Because different people have different definitions of what a close friend is. That's not what I have a problem with here, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's the fact that she has interpreted you and spoken about you in a way that is so far from your actual character that it's like, you're basically like, what the fuck even happened here? I don't even know how somebody like Brittany, based on the conversation we had, could ever conceive of me in this way. Correct?
I think when you put people on this high of a pedestal, you are destined to be disappointed by them. Mm.
True. I need to treat everybody as poorly as I treat Melina. I'm just kidding.
Or me.
You deserve it, Kelly, okay?
Wait, what do you say? What do you say?
Don't worry, he's just being mean to us. It's okay.
What did you say, Steve?
I need to be as mean to everybody as I am to you.
Not really.
Based.
They wouldn't handle it.
True.
I'm gonna leave one. I'm gonna sign the papers very soon. It's on the way, okay?
Good.
Fucking order those
As soon as that green card gets here, a few weeks.
I think it's
scared.
It's obvious that she misread you and that she's missing something. And I think it's worth finding out what, because you and I both agree it's not malicious. And you and I both agree that she has a very, very trustworthy nature to her. And that she does, for the most part, try to see people complexly. And so I'd be super curious to understand what went wrong here. Is it possible that you're right? There is just like kind of this like emotional trigger because there's like trauma related to like these types of like rape conversations. And you're a man who's talking about it like in like a really like aggressive, like intense way because you were having that big debate. Possible. That might literally be exclusively it. And so it's fair for you to say, if that alone is enough to make you like write me off, I don't want to have a relationship with you. I think that's also a fair decision to come to. I just think it's worth at least knowing and having that conversation.
Okay. Hold on. Okay. We're going to go down a list. I'm just curious, okay? I just want to see your predictions, and then we'll see where we're at in a year, okay?
Sure.
Okay. Nick and you. Mm-hmm. We've disagreed on stuff before, but I think we've survived it, right?
I mean, we haven't had huge disagreements except for when you're fucking wrong about fitness stuff.
Okay, which is never. So we're generally okay. So Nick and Erudite. What do I'm gonna try to percentage flip on where I think like the chances. Maybe my percentages are off. In my mind, so I'll put Nick at 20%. I'll put you at 18%. Do you think those are too high?
Sorry, 18% of will flip on you?
Yeah, you're gonna just fucking hate me. It's gonna be all over.
I need to think about it. What would be enough to make me hate you? Flip on you.
I don't think. Okay.
I think Nick's is probably lower, actually. You would have to do something. I would say Nick has boundaries.
Okay, I'm sticking Nick at 10%. Okay,
He's like 10%. I'm comfortable with 18. Sure.
Okay, Melina, what are you at? You're at like 20% because we're married, so you have to deal with a lot of shit for me. I'm okay with that number.
Wait, what are you asking about?
Chances of you just fucking hating me. Oh, ABBA, true.
It's like hard. Here's the thing. It's like hard to hate you if you just understand that you're a little bit like a child.
Yeah, true, base. Cherry is
like usually when you do some dumb shit.
Cherry's been through a lot. I'll give her a 20%.
Usually when you're doing some dumb shit, I feel like the reason you're doing something stupid is.
What about ABBA? What are the chances that ABBA flips and becomes an anti-fan?
Oh, here's my question.
Yeah.
Because we're talking about it like just this like general like how will the dice roll in the next year?
No, it's not. I'm curious. Like, what are the risk factors for this happening?
Sure. I guess what would be really important to me to understand is what the fuck happened that this occurred in the first place, and what has happened in the past, and is there a common thread between multiple. Not all relationships that have fallen apart will have this common thread, right? Of course not. But is there enough of a pattern that's begun to emerge in what causes dissolution of relationship that there might be something within your control to manage? Because if there is, and you can mitigate that, all of these little percentages go down, right?
Yeah, I just don't know what. Yeah.
Because like I think it's fine that you like do this thing. It just like, and if you're done with the conversation and you just want to like be.
Well, hold on. You said I asked you if you had any more questions, and you were like, "Oh no, I don't." If you have more you want to add to the conversation, then go for it. I'm sorry, I'll minimize this so we can return if you want. But you made it sound like you were done with the conversation as well.
I think it's because you're expressing things in such a jokingly way, but it clearly is.
I'm not. Hold on. I'm just sincerely asking if you have any more questions or anything else you want to contribute. Then
Wait,
yeah.
Why am I not even on the list?
Because Kelly, because you're a wild card. Okay, yeah.
So this is why I'm reacting in this way.
Yeah, go ahead.
The reason why I'm reacting this way isn't because I have more questions, but is what Melina just said, which is that again, you're shifting in time to kind of like this meme space. Which is
okay, hold on.
fine.
Stop. Okay, hold on. I'll shift back into personal, but we looped on the same thing for like 30 minutes. Okay.
Yeah.
If you want to go to like a serious conversation, I'm as serious as I can ever be in any state of mind ever. We can have that. But if it's just going to be like the same 30 like minute loop of like boundaries, then I don't think we're getting any further conversation. I've heard what you said, and then we're good, or we can move from there. If you have anything else you want to add or anything else you want to say, then we can do that. But
I'm not disagreeing with any of this. This is all fine. What I'm saying is the reason why you're getting this like jarred reaction.
Okay, I understand it now. I've shifted my thing back to serious. I'm in serious mode now.
God, fuck's sakes.
Yeah, we're talking about that one thing that you just did.
Okay, yeah, this thing that you just did, is the thing that gives people the read that you don't care about things and that you're not willing to emotionally lean into people and that like there's kind of like this emotional uncaringness on your side. Not because you did anything wrong there, and I don't actually think that you don't care about me emotionally, but I'm saying this is the thing that gives this people, the aesthetic is like the running from the emotional stuff.
Okay, I'm not running, I'm here. I'm ready to confront it. I'm in my 1 HP voice right now.
Wait, we're not like telling you to. We're just saying what you're doing. So
okay, so it sounds like we can't go back to that point where that conversation is done. Then I think that's what we're saying.
You don't want to talk about it.
I do. I thought I can, but you're saying I shifted.
Yeah. So I'm reflecting to you in the here and now why I felt jarred when you went into like your meme paranoia list of who's going to betray you and when. Not that I think there's anything wrong with it. I'm telling you.
I would have expected somebody like Pisco. It's not. Hold on. I'm sorry. I bring it up in like a meme way. I write things down when I'm trying to figure shit out. Unironically, when I'm autistic as fuck, I'll make pros and cons lists to figure out. I do this for important relations. I do this. This is how my mind processes. I'm sorry. It's a little joking. It's a little humorous. But in my mind, I would have imagined like Pisco would have like completely flipped before like Brittany would have. In my mind. So I don't know how. So I'm genuinely curious when I look down the list of like how could like things get fucked up, like with ABBA, or with the Ayla person I talked to, with Dan, with Zerka, with like I'm trying to think of like genuinely like what, like if somebody could have asked me like what would have gone wrong with the Brittany stuff after the trauma talk, I think I probably would have said something related to that. That would have been my guess. But I mean, I'm saying that now post hoc, so who knows? But also, when I say I thought, hold on, but to be clear, when I say I would have thought Pisco would have turned quicker than like Brittany, those percentages I would have thought were really, really, really low. Like I've spent like some time with Pisco in real life. We've walked, we've chatted, we've like had a fairly close-ish, I guess, relationship. But maybe Pisco comes and says, oh, I don't actually feel like he's a friend at all. I don't know. I'm not sure actually. I'm not sure.
Right. Do you find it like, because I've noticed a pattern of like people kind of being like, you saying like we're friends, and people being like, yeah, like we're friends. Probably like not that close, like Ian and maybe like Brittany as well. Do you find that often happens and that it's like surprising?
No, I feel like I can accurately gauge. Oh my God. I feel like I can accurately gauge where my friendships are if somebody would have asked me. Like I feel like if Brittany would have asked, but that's post hoc. Like, but I can do it for any other friendship. So like for Pisco, like we've talked about some really personal stuff on both of our ends. We've trusted each other with some secrets, you know, the customary trading of secrets before I welcome somebody to the Orbiters Club so that I can abuse them sexually on stream, I guess. But no, like we've had personal conversation about really private things in our lives. We've hung out either 2 times or 3 times in real life. We've like met each other's. He hung out with Melina. Like I know that he speaks Spanish. We've done stuff. So I would say like we're like friends at least. Are we close friends? Probably not, just because we don't spend as much time talking to each other. But I'd say we're like in the friend category. I think that's fairly accurate.
Can I ask something?
What?
Do you think if these people got the question of how does Steven see you? Like, are you close? What do you think they would say?
Everybody says no, probably not, and I feel replaceable and all that shit.
Okay, why do you think they say that?
Because I don't have any fucking time for anything in my fucking life, and I don't give enough time to people, and then people feel neglected. And then also because of my demeanor, people feel like I don't
think it necessarily have to be the case.
That's because I need to go back to playing Warzone on stream.
No.
So we can play games together.
I think it could legit be a certain way that you communicate sometimes. So when you're like, it's kind of like a joke. Whenever you say like, oh, my relationship is horrible, like it is a joke. Or if you say, oh, you're gonna give me up, or you know, when you say that to me, I think if you said something like that similar to someone else, they can get the feeling like, why would you ever say that?
Yeah,
sort of thing.
I already know this is already factored into the friendships that I have, right? Pisco comes on a stream and we fight a ton. We argue a lot, probably more than most people do. So I figure he's probably the kind of person that's built for like that type of back and forth. I would assume so, right? The manner of jokes that I tell and the way that I interact with people, I understand is very abrasive, and not everybody will like it. That's a part of my first personality. I factor that in when I interact with people, and I'm aware that like people view me like that, and that's okay. And that type of personality is not going to vibe with a lot of people, which is fine for me. I understand that.
Okay, if you say so.
Because I would never be able to be friends with somebody that had huge issues like that. It's just too much a style of my communication.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like if people don't really know where they have you, I think people can do things that you get surprised about too. I do believe that.
I guess.
Mm-hmm. And it all depends on if you care. I think you should care, because I think friends is a big part of life. That's important. So I think you should care, but you know.
Yeah.
You can always see what you can do, okay? That's what I'm saying.
True, I know. That's what I'm thinking about.
What are you smiling about?
Some stupid the Brittany haters in chat are obviously up big right now.
The Brittany haters?
Yeah.
You're gonna simp and defend your queen?
Brittany? No, she's a fallen lord. I'm trying to think. I need more. I wish I had more private relationships to stack stuff up against, because I feel like the public stuff complicates everything. Like it just feels like it's so much.
Yeah.
Of course. But here's the thing. You don't really put time into private relationship. You always make everything about streaming. So you have to cut off stream in that case. So you have to value if it's something you need or not, or if you need to stream more.
No, I don't need it. I just need to not stop making incorrect decisions about it.
What do you mean?
Like the only thing that bothers me with the Brittany stuff is just that I vouched for her. Like that's the only thing that...
That's the only thing that bothers you?
Yes.
That's it?
Yeah, because if I wouldn't have vouched, if I had like, if I was like, yeah, you know, she could actually like think like crazy fucking things about me, like, you know, who knows? Like I would just be like, whatever, if it happens, oh well, that's dumb. I guess they do think crazy things about me. But the fact that I vouched for them mean that I had some kind of like, I thought I had a better understanding of their understanding of me than I actually did, right? I joked with Melina, but it's like the misgendering thing, right? Like imagine you're a trans woman and then a friend misgenders you and you're like, fuck, you see me so differently than I see myself. Like that's wild to me, right?
Right. Okay, so is it the fact that she missees you, or that you publicly vouch for her seeing you complexly?
No. I'm sorry. When I say vouch for, I don't mean like my reputation about any of that shit. I just mean that like there was like I vouched. Like I said, like, oh yeah, like I think this is a person that understands me well. It was a claim that I made that was completely not true. It was completely wrong.
Was it completely wrong?
It seems to be the case, yeah. For me, like I think I would say that the majority of her comments were beyond the pale. It wasn't just like one iffy thing. It was like thing after thing after thing after thing.
And it was all related to interpersonal, emotional, relationship type stuff. Yeah?
I don't know if I'd say that. Like, is saying that like I'm closed-minded and Sneeko is open-minded? Like, is that like an interpersonal thing? Or saying that like I give horrible relationship advice because my relationships are like, is that an interpersonal thing? Is that like a stream thing? I'm not sure.
Well, when I mean interpersonal, sorry, I'm talking about her commentary on your interpersonal life, like your relationship to other people.
Yeah, but it wasn't just that. Like the open-minded comment was different. It had to do with like public-facing stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. Thank you. Chris says that you can tag now in live chat, by the way, guys. Wow. Well,
anything else?
I don't know, unless you can think of something.
I think if you don't figure out what caused this thing, I think it'll probably just be at like loss to you. Because I really think it's worth figuring out.
Well, listen, if you want to go dig into that.
I didn't say me. I didn't say I was like,
I honestly, I don't know if I can even have the conversation. I don't think I could. I don't even know if I would trust what she says, because I thought we'd resolved some of our differences over the last conversation, and clearly none of them were. I don't even know if she's speaking to me, I don't even know if she's being honest. So it feels like what?
Just mind read her in that case. Get the
but I've already done that. I've already mind readed like what I think happened, and I don't even know if she could say anything to convince me otherwise. Like I said, I think it was the trauma convo was a big trigger, and then that also caused her to lean even harder into the past convo about sex work, and then plus maybe, I don't know for the third one, maybe people in her private life have negative opinions of me, but those two I think are the things that did it. That would be my guess. I don't even know if she could say something to me privately that would convince me it was something different, because after, clearly our last conversation meant nothing. So
what if she apologized to you? I'm not saying she will, but
I don't care.
How would you feel?
I don't care at all. It doesn't mean anything to me. Because it's not. I don't care about what she said or did. It was the idea that she had such an unbelievably different idea in her mind of me. I don't
so you can't trust that she'll. Yeah, you can't trust that she won't just have a crazy idea of you again.
Yeah. Well.
Gotcha.